It is time for the Drew Yari Show. Drew Yari.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Drew Yari Show. I'm your host, Mr. Drew Yari, and with me is the returning RJ, the Brooklyn Savage. What's going on, RJ?
Not much. We back. We here. We live. I think my first appearance all year long. So here we go. Let's make it count. Woo!
I haven't seen you in a minute. This should be a good show. We got a lot of shit to cover. But before we get into because we're going to start with Elimination Chamber. Before Elimination Chamber, so last week, this is a week old, but I want to get your opinion on it because we haven't had a chance to talk about it. But Cody Rhodes announced, I think it was like the day after Valentine's Day, he announced that he was leaving AEW, and since I believe December, he was already a free agent. Like, he was just working with AEW on a handshake deal, and you know, there were the rumors that he might appear, that he was probably going to appear in the Royal Rumble, which that didn't happen. But he's officially a free agent. He's gone from AEW, not going to be wrestling there anymore, and you know, there's already, you know, rampant talk about him coming back to WWE, and it kind of seems like that's the way it's going to go. But what do you think about the whole Cody Rhodes situation?
Well, to me, and I just got done with telling somebody this earlier, to me it sounds like a guy that didn't get his way, whether you agree with it or not. I think what it was is that he helped put the foot on the gas for this revolution. It's sort of his baby in a certain way. And I think when Tony Khan wheeled them all in and took away all the power, I think that was the beginning of the end. And I think that Cody, I don't think that Cody was happy about that, because that it kind of defeated the whole purpose of them joining AEW, in my opinion, to begin with. And couple that up with the fact that I think the reactions were getting to him, and especially to his wife. And I just think that Cody's cut from a different cloth from a lot of those different guys in AEW, from the Bucks and from Omega. Like, he's cut from a different cloth. So I just think it was a lot of different factors that keyed into him, walking away from AEW, being the first big time departure from AEW.
Right, and yeah, you're right. I mean, you hit the nail on the head. You know, Jeff Lippman said the same thing. You know, guys like Kevin Castle and Mish. This is the first, big, defection from AEW, and it's Cody. And, Cody is the one that started the revolution. And, for WWE, it's going to be a big thing. There's already talk about them treating it like a big thing. That Vince loves Cody, and he wants to make him, one of his top guys. I had said this about Cody on the show with Jeff Lippman last week, that I always got the impression of Cody, whenever he was with the, the Bullet Club, that he was the odd man out, because he just seemed like the guy that was in the group that didn't really have a place in the group. Like, he was just a guy that was. What was that?
No, I was going to say no, he wasn't. Like I said, he was just cut from a different cloth.
Right,
and from a different cloth.
Right, and it's like, Kenny and the Young Bucks, they seem like they're genuinely good friends. Same thing with like Adam Page or Adam Cole. Cody, like you just said, he's cut from a different cloth, because Cody I think has a very old school mentality of thinking. And I think
which is why in the beginning, and sorry to keep on cutting you off, but is why in the beginning, like, his stuff was the best stuff. That was the best book stuff in the beginning, And you look back at some of the stuff when they all had the different hands in booking different things. His stuff was the best.
Right, and I think over time, I think he tried too hard, because I think people were looking at him as like, yeah, your stuff is good, but we prefer, the Young Bucks. We prefer Kenny Omega. We prefer Adam Page. We prefer, God help us, Orange Cassidy. And I think that got to Cody because Cody, I think, got tired of the modern wrestling shit. He got tired of why are people doing their move 15 times and not selling? Why are people, falling from a scaffold and not selling? Like, that shouldn't happen. Yeah. Granted, Cody did a moonsault from the top of the steel cage on a Wardlow and he didn't sell, but, it's another story. But, Cody, I mean, it shocks me and it doesn't that he's going back to WWE because, say what you want about WWE doesn't do too much of the shindy shit. They
don't. I mean, they're very anti-shindy, and for all of WWE's faults, they actually care about the wrestlers. They don't want to have another Benoit or another Guerrero or another Owen Hart on their hands. So they try to make things as safe as possible for the wrestlers by having them not do too much shit. Right. So that Battle Royal earlier tonight. I mean, not to jump ahead, but that Battle Royal tonight, that was slop-tastic.
Oh,
I mean, that was slop-tastic at its finest right there.
We'll definitely get to that a little later. And the main event. But yeah, Cody coming back to WWE. Do you like where do you see him coming back? Like in the WWE, do you see him, already being propped in the main event scene, or maybe starting off? Maybe somewhere in the middle against maybe like an AJ or Damian Priest. Like what do you see for Cody when he comes back?
Does WWE really have a choice right now on who to give the ball to? Like I heard what Julian said about them maybe humbling his ass when he comes back, and normally I would agree with that, but WWE does not have a lot of options right now. Mm-hmm. Like I look up and down that roster at the Royal Rumble, and it was very apparent that as those guys were coming to the ring, I'm looking at all these guys. I'm like, none of these guys deserve to win the Royal Rumble. None of them. None of them.
And what the funny thing is? Like, I was going to that Royal Rumble thinking, this seems like the first Rumble, or even I don't know who's going to win. And then I watched the Rumble. I'm like, you know what? It's because there's no fucking stars on this roster.
Exactly.
The only two stars are on the roster or in that Rumble was Brock and Randy. And that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just
and a bunch of mid-carders that would never get pushed. Sorry to call home and tell you all the facts, but I mean, just that. It was so bad that I was rooting for Bad Bunny to actually win the motherfucker, and that's really bad and really telling.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
So, I mean, shit, the guy has star power. But. Yeah, Cody. I mean, they don't have they don't have much of a choice. Like normally, I would agree with Julian. Yeah, they're gonna bring his ass back and maybe humble him a little bit. But WWE doesn't have a choice in the matter. They need guys that can help fill up the card now. And Cody, as a guy that can do that, you say whatever you want to say about him. You say he sucks, blah 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 blah. But the fact of the matter is that Cody Rhodes is Cody Rhodes, and that name carries some type of weight, whether you see it or not. That name carries some type of weight. And
right.
He was a guy that was like before, and for fans who are still watching WWE, that was around when he was still Stardust, maybe they'll be happy to see him as Cody Rhodes again. You know what I'm saying? And get into it. So, I mean, I main event, lower tier main event, top mid card, that range.
And also, kind of going back to your point, you look at the roster. It's kind of thin. Like I don't want to say it's too thin, but it's thin. And I remember I was telling this with Jeff on the show, where it's like, why is a guy like LA Knight still in NXT? Like he should be on the main roster because, like, Damian Priest needs someone else to fight other than AJ, or Sami Zayn needs another opponent besides Nakamura, or fucking Roman. Like, have LA Knight have a match against Roman, have a program against Roman. That'd be good because, like, LA Knight to me is the most over guy in NXT. I mean,
to you, I mean that's everybody. I mean, the guy's got everything you want. To me, honestly, I think he could be the most over guy if he joined Raw and SmackDown tomorrow because the guy has his shit together. He knows who he is and he thrives on that. Not a lot of guys have that type of package, whether they can work. Like, I mean, I heard people say his work is basic. All right, that's fine. That's cool.
Yeah.
Hey, not everybody needs to do flips and flops over the damn top rope. I mean, if his work is basic, his work is basic. Fine, whatever. But you can't deny the guy's promo ability and his character work. And his mic work is just phenomenal. Dummy, yeah.
Let me talk to you.
Whose game is it? Like,
L.A. Knight. And, like, again, I think he's the only name change that I've actually fine with, probably because I wasn't really...
Oh, I thought it was like a porno name at first. Like LA Knight. Like, it just sounded bad. It just sounded like a porn, like a veteran porn star.
I think probably because I wasn't too big a fan of his, like, even in, like, Impact or NWA. So I wasn't too attached to the name, but at the same time I was like, why change the name? But now I'm just like, oh, LA Knight. You know, it still rings with the theme L.A. Like, and he's, again, put the dude on the main roster already. But, you know, for Cody, I don't know if you bring him in straight as a babyface because, again, I don't know how the WWE crowd is going to react to him. I mean, I don't know. It's one of those things where I don't know, and it's good that I don't know. And it kind of.
Honestly, I would just throw him out there, let him talk to the people, and then gauge a reaction off that.
Right.
Give him a microphone, let him talk to the people. I think that's where WWE goes wrong sometimes. You know, they just throw guys out there without letting them talk to the people. They just throw them right out there. Now, Cody, I'm not saying he needs like weeks of vignettes to hype him up. You don't need any of that. But just let him go out there, come back, get a reaction, and let him talk to the people and see where you go from there. You know?
Right. And I'm pretty sure Vince is going to be like, you know, don't do those breathy, crying, screaming promos.
Yeah, none of that.
I came back because I wanted to, and I wanted to prove to myself. Like, no, don't do those. Don't do those, Cody. Just chill.
Do the lisp.
I came back because I want to prove to myself and to my half white, half black baby girl that this world is amazing. It's like, no, don't do that, Cody. Stop.
For God's sakes, don't do that. Like, come on, dog. Like, we good. Like, you ain't gotta do all that. It's like you about to have a damn heart attack, dog.
So let's get to Elimination Chamber. It happened last Saturday. We can just run through the card real quick. Elimination Chamber is in Saudi Arabia. The pre-show match was Rey Mysterio versus Miz. Rey Mysterio won. Kind of a basic match. Went the way it should have. Ray
Booyaka.
Ray pretty over in Saudi Arabia.
She's a superhero.
Oh yeah, because Saudi Arabia loves their superhero-looking wrestlers.
Exactly.
Maurice and her big old titties missing.
Oh my God! Oof, those big ass titties were not making a presence in Saudi Arabia, people.
But what'd you think about the match?
Like you said, it was basic. I mean, it's two workers that are. Very basic, and I mean, you're gonna get what you're gonna get from Rey Mysterio and Miz. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't spectacular either. So, it's Rey and Miz. Like, come on, like, are we really expecting like something spectacular and over the top with those two guys? Like, no. Like, that's why I don't get certain fans. Right, certain fans complain about certain things. Right, and I go, look at the two guys that's in the ring. It's Rey Mysterio. It was riddled with injuries. Sorry. Once again, to call home and tell you the truth. Rey Mysterio is riddled with injuries. The Miz is one of the most safest, most basic workers in the business. You get those two in the ring, and it's just going to be a basic match. Like, it's going to be a basic, nice match. Sorry. It's not going to be an off-the-wall, off-the-top, crazy flip-flop-de-doo fest. You're going to get what you're going to get from those two guys. Like, come on.
Right, and then Miz did a backstage promo saying that he needs a new partner against Rey Mysterio and Dominic, and then said, it's somebody that's a global superstar and a local celebrity, so I got to make a phone call. And already speculation, but we'll get to Raw to talk about the result. First match on the main show, Roman Reigns defending the Universal Championship against Goldberg. Roman winning by submission, which is the first time that Goldberg's lost by submission. He didn't tap out. He passed out from a guillotine. Again, basic match, went the way it should have. The right guy won. One thing I'll say about Goldberg is that he'll put over somebody that he knows is bigger than him. But
did Goldberg really have a choice in the matter?
Oh no! But here's what I was gonna say. Like Goldberg, if it's like somebody like Roman or The Rock or Brock, he'll be like, okay, I'll put him over. But if it's somebody like Bray, which he should have fucking put over, then he doesn't want to put him over because he still thinks he's a superhero to kids. I dare you to find an 8-year-old kid who knows who Goldberg is. But anyways,
Daddy, who's that old man?
Daddy, who's Goldberg? Oh, he was some guy who wrestled back in the 90s, and he speared and injured people, and he actually ended one wrestler's career. Oh, he's a superhero. But anyways, I digress. What do you think about the match?
Yeah, it was just blah. I mean, it's Goldberg and Roman Reigns, for God's sakes. Once again, you got to know what you're expecting. You're going to expect limited skill and ability from Goldberg, and you got Roman Reigns. He's going to try to carry his fucking guy. So, this is what I expected it to be. It was fine for what it was, and that's that. Another hoop for Roman Reigns to hop over before Mania. So, I mean,
it's just basically another notch in Roman's belt. To say, I've beaten everybody. I've beaten Brock. I've beaten Cena. I retired Taker, and now I retired Goldberg. Which, Goldberg has said, this was actually the last match in his contract for WWE. Oh, I think there's a rumor that he maybe signed on for more matches. I don't know, but.
Oh no!
That's why I said rumor. That's why I said rumor. Hasn't been confirmed, but. Goldberg hasn't really confirmed it, but if this is the last match for Goldberg, I don't know. I don't know if it should have been in Saudi Arabia. That's just me. It should have been maybe on. And this isn't me trying to be a Goldberg fan. I'm really not. I'm just saying
it should have been in Georgia.
Yeah, it should have been maybe in Georgia, where it all began again.
Exactly. I mean, I'm not the biggest fan of Goldberg. In fact, I don't like Goldberg at all. But I mean, if you want to give the guy a storybook ending, as they like to say on television, I mean, that would have been a great way to do it, in my opinion. But yeah, I don't think this is the last of Goldberg. I mean, yeah, he'll be back. My God, he'll be back.
Well, I'm gonna give an unpopular opinion. I think there's a place on the card for Goldberg. My problem with Goldberg is that they put him in these segments and he demands title matches and he gets them.
Yes, exactly. It's dude, you lose title matches, then you go away, and then you get another. That doesn't make any sense.
He just comes in. He just comes in and sweats profusely, even though he's been in the ring for 30 seconds, and goes, "Guess what? I'm next." It's you're next to probably have a heart attack, old man. But I'm just playing. No, I'm not. But if you're gonna bring in Goldberg, have him elevate somebody that actually needs that rub. You know what I mean? Have him go against a Damian Priest. Have him go against an Omos. You know what I mean? Have him go up to Omos and be like, "Big guy, you're next." Or, I mean, this may be pushing it, but have him give fucking Steiner the rub.
My God!
Well, because
Uncle Kid.
Yeah, you can play off that history because Steiner said in an interview that he talks to Goldberg every day. He said, "I've known Bill my whole life, and me and him talk every day." And that Gorilla Press Slam, Goldberg okayed that. Yeah. So you can do that. That would make Steiner, pretty big in the main roster fans' eyes. Oh, this guy beat Goldberg. Shit. I mean, because at the end of the day,
and that might be in the cards. I
mean, much to our dismay, Goldberg is still a draw. He's still.
No, I mean, make no mistake about it. He is. I mean, there's a place for him on the card. Don't get me wrong, but main event, demanding title, no, come on, dog. Because you're not title match worthy, man. I'm sorry. You just. Physically, no. It's done, dude. You're not that guy. So. Why keep on? I don't know. This is me. That's just me.
This match
in a spot for people to make fun of this guy.
The match was 6 minutes even.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's your world title match. One of them at least. Come on, dog. They better be lucky they had the other chamber match in the main event. Otherwise, I mean, my God, it was bad.
Let's see. The chamber match for the women for the Raw Women's Championship at Mania 38. Bianca Belair, Alexa Bliss, Doudrop, Liv Morgan, Nikki Ash, and Rhea Ripley. Bianca wins.
No.
What?
And technical foul.
What'd I do?
It's not Nikki ASH. It's Nikki ASS.
Oh shit, my bad. Nikki Ass.
There we go.
Who's getting a little thicker. So good. Thicker Nikki is good thick. Is good Nikki. But
Yeah, exactly. That's best for business, people.
That's best for business, damn it. And speaking of thick, we'll be getting to NXT pretty soon.
Good Lord.
Bianca winning, which was not really that shocking because they've already been setting this up. I didn't like how the match ended because I would have preferred if it was like between Rhea and Bianca, because they made Rhea look like a big deal on Raw in that gauntlet match, but it ends with Alexa giving a DDT to Rhea, and then Bianca giving the kiss of death to Rhea, and then Bianca beating Alexa. So we're getting Rhea and Becky at Mania to kind of right the wrong of SummerSlam.
You mean Bianca and Becky?
Bianca and Becky, I'm sorry. But what'd you think about the match?
I mean, it was a fine women's chamber match. Like I said, nothing crazy, nothing too out of hand, and it wasn't even slop-tastic or anything like that. In my opinion, I don't know. I just thought it was fine. I didn't have a problem with it.
Yeah, it was fine. It did its job. I mean, a lot of the matches on the show kind of just did their job. They were there.
Serviceable.
Yeah, and they did a good job. Some more than others, but so Liv Morgan is pretty much a big nothing at this point, right?
Jeez. I mean, I don't know what the hell is going on with that.
Yeah, the Liv experience is done. The Doudrop experience is done.
That was done way before the Liv stuff. Honestly,
Nikki Ass.
Oh my God, that's over.
I mean, I hate to be mean. She's going to be fired before SummerSlam.
Oh God.
Or fuck, even after Mania.
Oh yeah.
And I hate to say that.
Cuts.
Right. And then Bianca and Rhea are stars. They're going to be fine. Rhea, I gotta say, I liked her outfit at Elimination Chamber. I can't lie.
I like Rhea. Period. God, Jesus.
My only, I mean, it's like a small little attention to detail. If your theme song is called "This Is My Brutality," you shouldn't be smiling. Like I don't know. Yeah. That's just me. It's kind of the same thing with
unless you're giving off a sick, perverse smile. If it's a sick, like very like I'm going to murder you type smile, then like that's something that I can accept. I mean, I get your point, but like she's got to be doing more like to justify that whole act as far as I'm concerned. So.
Right, same thing with Bianca. Bianca comes, no matter what happens to Bianca, she comes to the ring and skips and smiles the whole time.
I mean, well, shit, John Cena used to do the same fucking thing 15 years ago. Whenever he used to lose big title matches.
At least John Cena was self-aware. Like, if John Cena was having a grudge match...
Hey, y'all! I might have lost a match last night, but I was in good shape, y'all. Like, what the hell? Like, John, you just lost a big title match last night, and Randy Orton screwed you over. Like, why are you happy about that? It's all right, y'all, because I'm going to get another title match.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know about that, but, like, at least with, like, one night stand, he went in there, like, not even smiling or being cheery. He just held the title up and just wrestled. Or, I don't know. But, like, Bianca needs to kind of change up her character a little bit. Like, less skippy, smiley, and be a little more serious.
She's not the bitch that she was in NXT. Oh. I see that with love.
Oh yeah, I agree. I highly agree. But All right, next match, you had Naomi and Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair and Sonya. Ronda Rousey had to wrestle with one arm tied behind her back.
Yeah.
Ronda and Naomi won after Ronda made Sonya Deville tap out. Charlotte just kind of dipped out and said, "Fuck it."
Yeah.
Better you than me. But what do you think about the match?
I think Charlotte will be paying for that on Friday. You'll pay for this.
Oh,
the check's in the mail, baby.
I'm go ahead.
Yeah, nah, it was just goofy. It was just a way to get Ronda, get all these women on the show. That's all it was. Just like I said, like my whole thing is like I'm not people losing their heads over certain stuff, and I'm like, yo, like you're getting mad and wild up for nothing. Like honestly, you just gotta take it for what it is, man. And once you understand that, you'll be a whole lot more relaxed than watching these shows. But that was just a match just to get Ronda and Charlotte and them on the card, like, and that's all there is to it. And Ronda looked good, because a lot of people were like, she looked kind of rusty. Now I thought Ronda looked pretty good, and I thought that Naomi looked good in that damn bodysuit. Oh my god.
Speaking of thickums,
Charlotte, the plastic really don't work for me, dude. But
right.
But yeah, like I said, just a nice little match to put on the show. Nothing too crazy, and that's all it was supposed to be. To be quite honest with you.
Right. Next is Drew McIntyre versus Madcap Moss in a Falls Count Anywhere match. There was a scary point where in the match where Drew goes for an Alabama Slammer on Madcap, and Madcap falls on his head.
Tried to break Madcap Moss's neck.
Like Jesus Christ!
Shit!
Me and Betty were watching that, and we just went fuck. Like, and they kept showing the replay. I'm like, okay, stop showing the replay for the love of God. We get it. Like it's like in The Simpsons. Stop! He's already dead.
My God, the guy was just it was bad. That was gnarly as shit. How he was walking after that, or I mean, if he's wrestling on Friday, I mean, God bless him. I mean, shit, he might need to get a push for that alone. But yeah, I'm not into any of this shit with Drew. It's just, I don't know, man. Like, I was all for Drew a couple of years ago, getting his spot and stuff like that. But I'm just not into him right now in the moment. And Baron Corbin and Madcap Moss, I'm not into those guys either. I think the whole act sucks. I think that I like Baron Corbin a whole lot more better when he was a bum. that shit was actually pretty funny.
You gotta say like Monty, bum
ass Baron Corbin. Like, I mean, that was pretty fun. But now that he's rich and all this other stuff, I'm not into it. And Madcap Moss is just, I mean, I get why they're together. Don't get me wrong, two former football prospects. Like, I mean, it makes sense. It writes itself. But again, just not into it.
And I think, going back to Drew at this point is basically Adam Page. Like, in a sense where he's a guy that looks like somebody, they both look like somebody a company would love to put in their main event spot, but he's missing something.
Yeah.
And like there's points where Drew will do something and I go, okay, that's the guy. But then he falls back into this pattern of, hey, I'm Drew. Like when he tries to be too much like Cena, I'm like, that's not you, dude. like that's it's not. But and again, I like Drew, but at this point it's just like, what are we doing here? You're right. On paper, this guy should be a star, but something is missing here, and
he needs his viciousness back. And I'm not talking about carrying a dumbass sword. I'm sorry. Yes, God. I get the meaning behind it. His mom's. I mean, I get it. It's a nice sentimental message and stuff like that, but that should have just been a one-time thing for the shit with Sheamus. Now it's overkill and it's corny. It's just corny, and like I said, I hate saying that because, like I said, I was for Drew getting this push and stuff like that, and I still like the guy, but it's just like now it's just like there's nothing, there's no meat on the bone right now for Drew McIntyre.
And what's this thing about people in WWE that have weapons but they don't use them?
I don't know.
Even like
Sheamus still carries the fucking the shillelagh or whatever and doesn't use it.
Even like inanimate object. Like, you remember when David Otunga had the thermos and he never used it as a weapon?
Or pour coffee on anybody like that.
Like that
hot coffee to insinuate that it was hot or something.
Right. He's like
I'm surprised they never tried to work that into the. Yeah, you're right.
He's like, I'm a lawyer. I drink coffee. It's like, okay, well, use your fucking thermos.
Yeah,
but
my ex-girlfriend did it on the principal in middle school. It was great.
Oh shit!
she got expelled after that. But
Jesus Christ!
But hey, I mean, it was great.
I like your reaction, but it was great.
Oh, it's the greatest thing I've ever seen because I've never seen anything like that before.
Jesus Christ! Next, you have Becky Lynch versus Lita for the Raw Women's Championship. Becky Lynch won. I mean, again, it was good to see Lita. She didn't look too bad in the ring. There was some points where she looked kind of sluggish. Granted,
that's to be expected. Lita's almost 50 years old. I mean, shit.
Granted, Lita hasn't had a singles match since 2006, and that was against Mickie James at I think it was at Survivor Series.
Yeah.
But it was a nice moment for Lita.
And by the way, all this stuff with Lita feels out of nowhere. By the way.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's another reason why I'm excusing it as well. But yeah, I thought it was fine. I enjoyed it for what it was, and by God, the crowd was into Lita, man.
Oh yeah.
Like, you would have thought Lita was like a native or something. Like, she got that Mansoor reaction. Especially after it was all said and done. I thought it was good. I thought Lita looked fine for where she is in her life and in her career at this point. So, like, I mean, if anybody's got like anything overly negative to say about it, I mean, they should just fuck right off, in my opinion. But
yeah, exactly. I was happy to see Lita.
I was happy to see you too.
See her get a moment. She said straight up, I have no plans to work with WWE after this. And hey, I mean, it was just a one-time thing, for the Saudi audience who, like you said, were obviously very happy to see Lita. They're very pro Lita, and she got that nice reaction after the match. And again, the match happened the way it should have. Yes. It's kind of weird because it's like the Goldberg thing of like, hey, I'm next. Lita doing the same thing. Well, she was a little bit more cordial, where she was like, "How's about we have a title match?" Like she
goading Becky into it.
Like, she at least asked, but
Yeah.
But good for Lita.
And plus, it's Lita. It's her first defense, so we don't mind it all that much.
we'll give her a pass.
Yeah, we give Lita a pass. Goldberg, not so much.
Yeah, Goldberg. The WWE, what was supposed to be next was the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, but it didn't happen after the Usos attacked.
Yeah, what was up with that? I thought that was strange that they didn't give. They flew those guys out there, and those fucking guys did not have a match.
I don't know. I haven't even heard anything about it, to be honest. If I had to guess, because WWE is kind of weird, because they'll make last minute decisions like the day of. But if I had to guess, maybe like they were running short on time. I don't know.
Maybe that might be the case.
But yeah, that's weird. Next
I just thought that was very weird.
And I'm going to do my Mark Henry impression. Ready? And now it's time for the main event. No, wait, I got. Let me do that better. And now it's time for the main event. Was that better?
Yeah, it's great.
Elimination Chamber for the WWE Championship: Brock Lesnar, Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Austin Theory, Riddle, and Seth frickin' Rollins. During the match, this is kind of like a news story. This is a news story that came out of the match. So, during the match, Bobby Lashley gets taken out after Seth Rollins does a buckle bomb onto the pod. I forget who it was though, but onto Bobby Lashley, and Bobby Lashley ends up getting taken out of the match due to quote unquote
concussion protocol.
Concussion protocol. There you go. And then the news came out after the match that Bobby Lashley is, taking 4 months off due to shoulder surgery, and so I don't know. I mean, that's weird. Like, did he fly all the way to Saudi Arabia knowing he had this, or did they know he had this? That's odd.
It just seems weird to me. But I mean, that match with Brock Lesnar was kind of, I won't say it was sloppy, but it got brutal. Like, I mean, those guys were throwing each other around like they were trash. So, injury to me was kind of inevitable. But I didn't expect WWE. And, it was kind of weird because Lashley did not get physical after the Royal Rumble, since the Royal Rumble. So, maybe we should have knew something was up then. Because I was talking to Maverick about it. And Maverick was like, yeah, Bobby Lashley hadn't done anything, like, really physical since the Royal Rumble, so it kind of makes sense. And I'm like, yeah, you're right about that. Because even some of the segments I've been catching before work, like, Lashley was in a suit for the most part, he hadn't really done anything. And when Brock Lesnar was beating on some of the guys, mainly Austin Theory, last week before the Chamber, remember Bobby Lashley was like the first one out of the ring.
Yeah, I mean,
which at the time I thought that was odd given his character, but yeah, but it makes sense now looking back on it.
Yeah, that's odd. Maybe Lashley did get hurt at the Rumble because again, the match wasn't terrible, but it was just like something's kind of off about this match. And then it also doesn't help that you have two big hosses in the ring, beating the fuck out of each other. For the most part, it was Brock beating the fuck out of Lashley, but I mean that sucks for Lashley because me and Jeff Lippman and Steve have their own group called Team Smashly, which I'm a part of, and we've all agreed this is probably the best that Lashley's ever been in his whole career. And,
oh yes, I think the only thing that could really compare or come close is his run in TNA 2014, 2015.
Right.
Because, I mean, he was beating everybody in that mother. I mean, Impact really booked him strong. That was probably like the positive out of TNA for a good bit there, especially after they let Styles and all those other guys walk. That was probably like the best shit they ever booked. So, yeah.
Well also because... Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was gonna say also because like they booked him the way they're booking him now. They're booking him like he's a serious, kick-ass athlete. Whereas, when he first came to WWE, and whenever he did come back to WWE, that first one, they were trying to give him personality. They were trying to book him as like Bobby Lashley, the wrestler, and it's like, how's we book Bobby Lashley like this badass MMA fighter that we keep talking about him? You know what I mean? Like Bobby Lashley's MMA record was like what, 28-2 or 28-4 or something like that.
Yeah,
and it's just like that's nothing to sneer at. That's pretty impressive. So Bobby Lashley's not exactly someone you want to like fuck with, but Lashley. Yeah, we all know what happened during the match. Brock, who apparently went off script and actually broke through the pod on his own. Like, that was actually Brock breaking through the pod, where it's just like, fuck. Like, of course Brock did that. Comes out, wrecks everybody. It's down to him and Austin Theory. He spends at least probably like 5-7 minutes just beating the fuck out of Austin and then giving him a 5 off the pod. Good thing there was padding there. If this was the old Elimination Chamber, Austin probably would have been fucked. But
fucked beyond belief, my guy.
I guess that kind of shows what they think of Austin Theory, that they're willing to give him 7 minutes with Brock, but not 7 minutes in heaven, 7 minutes with Brock.
He's got the goods. I mean, he's got the goods, man. Like, my only complaint with Austin Theory is I hate the. I mean, it could be something given his age, but I hate the stupidity of his character. Like him acting like a stupid young guy, but right. Like I said, in the same breath, it works because there are a lot of guys that look like Austin Theory who act like Austin Theory, the character. So, in a sense, it makes sense. But I think that hopefully he can mature over time, character-wise,
right?
And become more of a serious guy. Because Austin Theory and when Austin Theory had his shit together and Evolve, that was good shit.
Yeah, just the whole thing with Vince, I think he can do without, because I think that's kind of hurting him more than helping him.
It wouldn't be so bad if Vince actually gave the man advice.
If this was Vince McMahon 10 years, or like Vince McMahon like 12, 15 years ago, then yeah. But not Vince McMahon who is mumbling about eggs and, pencils or whatever.
Yes. Like a Chinese sensei or something talking in riddles. Like Vince, if Vince was pulling strings and actually trying to give this guy title shots and screwing over baby faces, it would work because it would give Austin Theory some heat. But just to hit them backstage, just talking about nonsense and slapping him around, that doesn't do anything for him. Like I said, if he was doing what Triple H was doing for Seth Rollins, a few years back, then it would work. But they're not doing any of that, so it's not looking too good. So, I don't know.
Overall, what were your highlights and lowlights of Elimination Chamber?
Well, the highlight of the show was when it was over.
Okay.
And the lowlights were, in all seriousness, no. I thought the women's chamber was good. I thought the chamber match was good. People were bitching about it because Brock won. I'm like, look, WWE's trying to fill these damn tickets. They're trying to sell out tickets. They're going with guys that are going to draw them the money, that they feel that are going to draw them the money, and guys who have the track record of drawing the money. I'm sorry. Once again, I'm sorry to call home and tell you guys this, but wrestling at the end of the day is a business. It's not an e-fed. Trust me, I run an e-fed. I know what it's like, the fantasy book stuff. But guess what? I don't answer to goddamn sponsors. I don't sell out tickets. What I do is put up polls on Twitter. Okay? That's how I get my fantasy jollies off. Other than that, wrestling is a business, and Vince McMahon is trying to sell out the goddamn what stadium? The AT&T Stadium?
AT&T
sell that.
AT&T Stadium, yeah.
Yeah, he's trying to sell that out. So what is he trying to do? He's trying to put the best, what he feels is the proven track record guys, he's putting them in the best position to help sell out that stadium. Sorry if Biggie is not wrestling goddamn AJ Styles in the main event of WrestleMania. I'm sorry that's not happening, but hey, it's a business. It's a business.
Took the words right out of my mouth. That could be the name of tonight's episode, which I'll probably make that the name of tonight's episode.
Yeah, it's and people have to stop with the I want to see real wrestlers. Well, you want to see your favorite wrestlers, right?
Watch AEW.
Well, not only just that, but pay a ticket. Pay a ticket. Fucking watch them on a television program. Fucking buy their merchandise. Show Vince McMahon a reason why he should push your favorite guy.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of, you know what I'm saying? Come on. Because that's what I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing the bitching online because I see it all the time. I'm in all these group chats on Twitter, blah, blah, blah. And people are just whining and bitching and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, if you really cared about your favorite wrestlers, if you really wanted to see your favorite wrestlers succeed, watch them on television. Why won't they probably put the belt on Big E ever again? Because ratings was down when he was the champion. Why? Because you didn't watch him. You love him so much, but you didn't watch him. You didn't buy his merchandise. You didn't pay that ticket to go see him at the house show. That's why. But when Brock Lesnar's on your TV screen, not only is he getting the biggest reaction out there, he got a fucking reaction in Columbia, South Carolina Monday night. Columbia, South Carolina is dead. I know. I live in the area.
I was going to say, that's your neck of the woods, right?
Yes. It's dead as shit. Walterboro's even worse.
Again.
So, believe me when I say it's hard to get a reaction out of those Carolinians. But Brock Lesnar got one. He got a damn good one.
And and
to be kind of fair, that show was actually, reaction-wise, was actually pretty good. So I was kind of impressed with the people of Columbia the other night. I got to give him credit. But Brock Lesnar got a big reaction when he came out.
And that
is why he will continue to get pushed. That is why he'll continue to main event WrestleMania, main event whatever pay-per-view, because he's getting a reaction. He's drawing the money. People are watching him. The ratings. I'm sorry to tell you this, but somebody's gotta educate you. You gotta get your mind out of fantasy land and realize what's going on here. I don't like it either. I don't like the fact that Roman and Brock Lesnar are fighting each other again. But guess what? Like I said, man's got to try to sell out the stadium. Sorry, it's a business.
All right, this segues into Raw. We'll talk about Raw. Did you watch Raw?
I only watched the first hour and a half.
All right, so I got the results up here. Like you said, Raw opened with Brock coming out dressed as an actual cowboy, looking like actual cowboy shit. Coming out, cutting a very babyface promo, which is odd for Brock, but coming out thanking the fans, shaking, slapping hands with fans, which I'm just like, I'm not used to this Brock. I like this Brock because
I do too.
Shelton Benjamin was on Ryan Satin's podcast where he said, the Brock you're seeing on TV is close to who he is in real life.
Yeah. Like a lot of people hear all these stupid stories about Brock Lesnar being a dick because he didn't sign somebody's autograph at the damn airport or something like that. Like if I'm on a long ass flight from South Carolina all the way to goddamn Memphis, Tennessee, okay, and I'm getting off a goddamn airport at 3:00 in the morning, I'm not signing any autographs either. I'm sorry. I mean, there's a way to go about it. I'd be like, hey, not tonight. I'm tired. I gotta go. But if you're around in the morning when we leave, then fine, so be it. I'll take pictures. I'll do whatever you need, but not right now. Yeah. That makes people dicks, apparently. You know what I'm saying? So
it's like how dare you not sign my collector's cup at 4 a.m. when you just came off of an 8-hour flight and haven't slept in 2 days?
Don't you know I pay your bills?
I bought your house.
I bought your house. I bought your family's house. I bought your baby's crib. You owe me. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Like, I already know how I am. Like, I get fucking irritated when I'm at work and people ask me for help.
Yeah, exactly. Same here.
it's like I already know how I am as a celebrity. If someone asks me for an autograph, I'm just like, motherfuckers. Again? These fucking.
I already get asked for autographs already. So like, I mean, I signed an autograph for a kid the other day.
Oh, we got a celebrity up in here.
He said, "Oh, the Raven King." I was like, "Wait, what?" How do you know about that?
You should just, just start fucking with people and be like, "Be gone from me."
I said, "How do you know about that, kid?"
RJ is my stage name.
I said, "What do you know about the Raven King RTJ?" And then he said, "And I should say these things, and it should come to pass, for these words are told by the Raven King RTJ." I'm like, what?
That's
what the heck?
That's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty fucking cool, man.
I said, this kid he's stealing he knows my line, my closing line by heart. And he even did the little chant RTJ. I'm like,
that's so fucking cool, dude.
I'm like, wow. I'm just playing wrestler on Twitter and on Facebook, and I got kids quoting my promos. Like, that's crazy.
I've actually gotten noticed once, and I mean, it was by someone that I forgot that's following me on Instagram, because me and my friend went to 54th, and he was like, hey, here's my friend. He introduced me to a friend that was already over there, and he's like, "Oh, Drew Yari." I'm like, do I know you? And he goes, I'm so and so on Instagram. I'm like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man?" So yeah, it's just, I don't know. That's pretty fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie. Like, your story's a lot better than mine, but yeah, that's cool. That's so fucking cool, dude. But yeah, Brock does his promo. Paul Heyman comes out and just does his usual shtick. Brock calls him a dick, which I thought was kind of funny. Yeah, Brock just does whatever the fuck he wants, and and nobody's gonna do shit about it.
Of course, and who's gonna say anything to him, because he's making Vince the money.
It's like, I can imagine
the money. He doesn't care.
Can you imagine go ahead.
If Damian Priest was going off script saying something like that, then of course his ass is getting in trouble. But it's fucking Brock Lesnar, man. Guy does whatever he wants to do, and rightfully so. Like,
can you imagine like Kevin Dunn going up to Brock and be like, "Kev," with his fucking buck teeth, "Kev, or Brock." I don't
like that you said that.
You shouldn't say dick. And then Brock just looks at him, and just takes his dick out and pees all over his fucking shoes. And he just stares at him the whole time while he's doing it, and then puts his dick back in and goes, "You're welcome."
If your wife wants some, you can give her my phone number. That's the biggest beast he's ever played with before.
I love Brock.
That's like something Brock Lesnar would actually do too. Actually, like I can actually see him doing that.
I don't know, like the way Shelton Benjamin talks about him, because Shelton's known him since like even before they went to OVW.
Minnesota Wrecking Crew.
And he says the thing about Brock is like he makes it very simple. If he likes you, he likes you. If he doesn't, then you'll know. Mm-hmm. And that's basically me.
Perfect.
That's basically me.
Yeah.
Like I make it very clear if I like you or not. And he's very much a Cancer like us. Like he very much has that Cancer personality.
Yeah.
Next is the Alpha Academy versus Street Profits. Okay match. Alpha Academy wins. What do you think about the Alpha Academy so far?
I like the Alpha Academy. I like them a lot. I questioned the pairing when it first happened. I know they were doing stuff with Daniel Bryan. They was kind of teasing that whole thing. Maybe he was running his own little camp with him and Gulak. And I thought that could have been great, but obviously they didn't go down that route. And instead, Chad and Otis, they were teaming up. They turned heel. Otis has just become this fucking monster, far removed from slapping his belly and doing, "Oh yeah," bit far removed from that, like a total monster. And Gable was just showing everybody why most people call him Angle 2.0. Like
love him.
They're letting him talk. They're letting him show more personality and stuff like that. And he's good in the ring, man. Like, don't let the size fool you. He's one of those guys. Yeah, he's small, but like his shit looks good. Like his shit looks good. And when your shit looks good, you can go toe to toe with guys twice your size. That's why people would like, Bryan can't fight Undertaker and this, that, and the other. But I guarantee you, Bryan could give Undertaker his best, like, scientific type match,
right,
and not have it be boring. And I think Chad Gable fits in that category too.
And he's just like, I think he just gets it, not just on a wrestling level, but on an entertainment level. Like it's like you said, he's Angle 2.0. I'm like, Angle was not only a great wrestler, like he understood how to get himself over and how to have the crowd eat out of the palm of his hand, and Gable's there, like the spelling bee competition. Like I enjoy that, preferably because of Chad Gable, because just his catchphrases, the shush, or I thank you, or anytime the buzzer would go off, he would just start freaking out. I'm like, oh my god, this guy's gold. So I like Alpha Academy. I love Chad Gable. I like Otis in this role. A lot of people I'm seeing don't like Otis in this role. I don't know why, but
because he's not the comedy character,
right? Because I know
he was before. But you know what? It could be a good thing down the line, because maybe that could be a way for the comedy character to come back, but with a little bit more of a serious edge. You know what I'm saying? Like people need to just let things play out, in my opinion. And I think Otis is fine right now, what he's doing.
Yeah, I'm digging it.
He's eating right now, and Otis, like I said the other night on Twitter, I don't know if y'all saw this, but I wrote a tweet on Twitter. Otis has been studying the Mark Henry category of talking shit.
Oh yeah.
he grabbed, what you call it, the other night. Get your ass over there! Boom.
Like, it's like a lot of these new guys, they're learning from the best at their division. Like this is kind of off topic, but like Omos was actually being trained by Kevin Nash.
Yeah,
Kevin Nash said that he's been training him, which makes sense because Omos has a personality. Like he's not just a big guy that just stands there and grumbles.
He talks shit too. Like I like Omos. I don't know what they're gonna do with the poor bastard, but yeah, I like Omos. Like, I'm not in this camp of, oh, well, he can't do technical wrestling moves, so I don't like him. Oh.
He's not doing suicida suplexes. Oh.
Exactly. He's not doing the triple roll German suplex off the top rope. Like, give me a break. Get the fuck out of here.
God damn it! Where's a super kick when you need one?
Because everybody else and their mother doesn't do enough, right?
Jesus Christ. Super kicks and fucking kendo sticks need to go away. They need to go away for a little bit.
Go away.
Next is Tommaso Ciampa making his main roster, or not main roster debut. He was on the main roster before, but with Finn Balor returning versus the Dirty Dogs.
It was a fine tag team match. All four guys worked hard. I mean, you can't say none of these guys work hard. I mean, Bobby Roode, Ziggler. You know, both guys get beat down like drumsticks every other week and shit like that. But the fact of the matter is that both guys work hard. And, I mean, that's something you can't take away from any of these guys. And Balor looked good. I don't know if Balor was away because he was injured or what the case was, but Balor looked good, looked rejuvenated, and Ciampa looks good. Ciampa looks good. He's got the Just for Men going on there in the beard. You know, he looks good. I just didn't realize how tiny he was compared to a lot of people.
Well, he's tiny.
Because I'm used to, like, in Ring of Honor, especially when, like, he was getting the big push as the alpha male Tommaso Ciampa, when he was the Sicilian psychopath. Like, Ring of Honor used to do some type of trickery because they made Tommaso Ciampa look way much bigger. And I don't know if it was a case where, because they did put him up against a lot of smaller guys even smaller than him. But that's what's even more shocking is because, like, Ziggler and fucking Roode look like giants compared to Ciampa, and I'm like, what the fuck? Like, when he tore his ACL, did he lose some height too? His knees, like, holy shit, like, because this guy used to look like a monster in Ring of Honor. Because I was like, man, Ciampa and Michael Elgin look like monsters compared to everybody else. And now, years later, I mean, fucking, he looks like he shrunk.
I don't know. I think
you got all these WWE guys making him look small as shit, man. Like, it's weird.
I mean, I don't know. I think he still looks good.
I mean, he looks great. Don't get me wrong, but he looks small. Like, I mean, like, you have to literally have gone through that Ring of Honor period, like, when he joined the embassy, like 2010, 2011-ish, and he was getting that monster push. Like, he was like, I mean, even physically, he was like bigger than he is. I mean, he's more leaner and more cut now, but like, he was bigger, like, physically, and like, he did that camera angle, the way that you should shoot it, he looked bigger, like taller compared to a lot of the guys that he was wrestling in Ring of Honor. But now that he's in WWE, like, a lot of guys make him look like a fucking dwarf.
So, I mean, compared to, like, most people, Adam Cole, he at least looks like he's physically imposing.
Working out to the gym, and yeah, we got to talk about that.
We need to talk about Adam. That's another title for the show. We need to talk about Adam. Yeah. This is going to be a very serious episode of the Drew Yari Show. Next is Nikki Ass versus Rhea Ripley. Rhea won, so that's about it.
No surprise.
Damian Priest versus Shelton Benjamin, hometown boy. Shelton not really getting a reaction, but Damian Priest winning.
You would have thought he would have got some, but I mean, maybe they all knew he was going to lose anyway, so fuck it.
I mean, another guy that got no reaction, Damian Priest. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, what is up with that?
I don't know.
I mean, that's crazy to me. Like, this guy, like Damian Priest, like, he does everything. He's another guy, does everything right. I don't get why this man's not getting a reaction. And, like, you would think them adding a stupid Damian character to try to add an extra layer to his character would help, but I don't know, man. Like, I think Damian needs to turn heel. I think they need to have Damian do something with somebody of note. maybe Finn Balor is that guy. Because Finn Balor, I mean, he got a big reaction, according to a couple of my friends that went to the show the other night. Finn Balor got a huge ass reaction. Like somebody told me that it may not have come across it on television, but when Balor came out, he got a huge ass reaction. So maybe that's the way to go. Maybe Damian turns heel on Balor, and maybe they could do something there. I just think that Damian's lost right now, and he needs something. He's got a belt, but he needs something to sink his teeth into.
Right, and like
he needs something to work with, something to gauge a reaction out of the audience, because he's not getting it right now.
For one, you know, they changed his theme music, and I don't like his new theme music. I thought his old one was really good because like it was something that the crowd can get into. Like he comes out and does the like the bow and arrow thing, and you just see like the top, you know, on fire, just says Damian Priest. Like that was cool. His new entrance is very generic. Like that's one, and also I don't know if it's generic. It's pretty generic. Like it doesn't fit him. Not
compared to a lot of the other themes. Not like you actually got to listen to it. Like it goes places. Like to me, a generic theme song is a song that just dun, 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 that doesn't go anywhere. That has no tempo, no accelerating tempo. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't move. Like at least the song goes back and forth and it touches on different things, the angelic side and the devil side. To me, that's not generic. To me, that's just something that doesn't fit him.
Okay, so let me give you an example. So, like, if you had to pick a theme song to be your theme song, what would it be?
Like, you mean like as far as like a wrestling theme song or an actual song?
Like if you're like, you know, say you're in wrestling, and like you have a theme song, you have an entrance theme. Like, what would it be? Like something that you know describes you.
It'd be one of the theme songs that I use in E-Feds. It would be right now, like one of the songs that I use is "Bring It On" by Youngboy. Okay,
so imagine they end up and that what kind of genre is that song?
That's a rap song.
Okay, so imagine the very next week your theme gets changed. And it's just generic rap music. It's just some guy going, "Yo, I'm RJ, and I'm here to say, I'm the greatest wrestler in the U.S." Like, you know what I mean? Just like generic rap music created by white people on creative. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no,
it's like, hey, RJ, are you a fan of the hippity hop? Well, listen to this banker. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, not good. But I mean, it is a downgrade from the other song. Don't get me wrong. Like I love the other one too, but I don't think it's a bad generic song. Not the slightest. I don't think it's a generic song because I don't get me wrong. I thought so too. I'm like, what the fuck? Why did they change Damian's song? Then I heard it because they dropped it the same night on Spotify that they dropped it on television. And I'm like, you know what? This is not bad. And then they took and redid it. They took and added more riffs to it and stuff like that. So it's actually a banging theme song. Like I get it, and like the tempo, it's intense. It's an intense song. I don't think it's generic by any means, but it is a downgrade from the other song because I love that other song because that song really took you places. Like like I thought it was one of I thought it was one of Def Rebel's best songs. Yeah, especially when it gets down to the real nitty gritty towards the end. I'm like, yeah, like this is a good one. But the new one, I don't find it to be generic.
I don't know. It's just I'm not feeling it. Sorry, I'm just not a fan of it.
Like I said, like I mean, I definitely agree. It's a downgrade,
but
I don't think it's the worst. It could have always been worse.
But as far as like Damian goes,
my name is Damian. I'm cracking heads. What? And Damian Priest comes out there still acting like the rock star. I'm like,
but for Damian, it's like at this point he's getting indifference, and that's probably the worst thing a wrestler can get.
Of course.
Because now the crowd is like, we're not sure if we should cheer you or boo you.
he hasn't done anything to establish himself as a babyface or a heel.
Right.
And I'm not sure whose fault that is.
It's creative.
That's WWE's fault or his fault or whose fault is this? They haven't done anything for him to point him in that type of direction. Beating up T-Bar, I'm sorry, that's not enough. Like, people don't care about T-Bar like that. And, I mean, that's another guy that should be getting something. I mean, that big motherfucker, like he can't find a spot on television. But I mean, that's a different story. But like Finn Balor, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is a make or break program for Damian, in my opinion. Like, either this is gonna go somewhere, or I don't know. I'm not gonna say Damian's gonna get cut, but they gotta figure something out real quick.
I mean, it's
not looking good. It's not looking good reaction wise. They're booking him fine. I hate the cop out DQ stuff, but that aside, like, they're booking him strong. Like, as far as like his reign as United States champion, kind of forgotten. He doesn't really defend it on pay-per-views, but him on TV, like, they're doing a good job of trying to put showcase on that belt and him on television.
Like, they clearly like him and they want him to be a big player. So I don't know if they'll cut him. I mean, like, it's not like a cross thing. It's not like a cross thing where they already were burying him from the get-go. And yes, I'm saying the word bury. And Cross literally said in an interview, I was already being buried from the get-go. Or he used a different wording, but he pretty much said bury. But, I think, before we get to the next segment, which, I don't know if we even give a shit about the next segment, but, I think Damian needs a character change. He needs to be a heel. We both agree he needs to be a heel. But,
he needs to do something malicious. He needs to do something that really gets the crowd either on his side or in his ass. I don't mean like physically. I mean literally. Like he needs something to get the crowd to either cheer him or boo him. And we gotta have something, man. 'Cause right now it ain't looking good.
Like take a note from Edge. Like like Edge, when he came back from his neck surgery, he was getting indifference, and then he figured, okay, you guys want to boo me? I'll give you a real reason to boo me. So that's what Damian Priest can do. But next is a segment with Reggie and Dana Brooke. Who cares?
That's around the time that I cut out.
Yeah, I'll just fill you then. So, Doudrop had a match with Bianca. Becky came out to talk a little shit. I mean, it was an impressive match. Doudrop and Bianca can work well together. Bianca gave Doudrop the kiss of death. Just being a beast. Becky watching, and of course she's kind of pissed off because she wanted Doudrop to win. And then the main event, RK Bro versus Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins. The stipulation being, if Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins won the match, they'll be added to the tag team match that'll take place in 2 weeks. Good match. With the crop of guys that are in the ring. Kevin Owens and Seth won the match, so they're added to the tag team match in 2 weeks. This kind of maybe adds some truth to the rumor that we'll talk about right now, that Steve Austin apparently is going to return for a match at Mania with Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens so far has been doing a lot of promos, shit talking Texas, which I mean makes sense. I mean there was a news story that came out about Texas. I mean we don't get too political on the show, but apparently Texas is going to start looking at. Actually, let me just pull up the article right now. Hold up. It was a bill. It was literally a bill that Governor Abbott had put out where, okay, so Governor Abbott has officially directed Family and Protective Services to begin investigating all trans children in Texas and prosecuting their parents as child abusers. He has also instructed all teachers, doctors, and caregivers to begin reporting any trans students they see. So, if you're a teacher or a nurse at school and there's a trans kid, you automatically have to call their parents because they're being abused at home.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
I mean, I don't want to spend too much time on this because it's we're a wrestling show, but it's just like Like, come the fuck on. Like, I say this as a Texan. Fuck Texas.
Yeah, that's extreme. That's extreme. Way too much. Not needed, but I don't know. Like it's too much.
But
I feel like I said, we don't get political. Like that's not my touch. That's not my base. But I feel as a human being, if you're okay with doing whatever you need to do to yourself to make yourself feel good, do it. Do what you got to do. Like I'm not judging. Like that's just who I am as a human being. Like I'm not judging. I just whatever you need to do, whatever you feel you need to do it. I'm not judging or anything like that. So why should people really like give a damn? But I don't know. Yeah.
But going back to Kevin Owens, so let me say my piece first. So like the talk is that Steve Austin apparently is the WWE's trying to coerce him into coming back to have a match with Owens, which it kind of shows you that Austin requested this match and they didn't just tell him, hey, you're going to wrestle Kevin Owens. Like he just said straight up, yeah, I want to wrestle Kevin Owens. I like Kevin Owens. And you kind of see their relationship. Like Austin was a big fan of Kevin Steen before he became Kevin Owens, and he seems like he likes the kid. And it's weird to say kid, but here's what I think should happen. So it shouldn't be a straight up wrestling match. Like I know Joe Numbers suggested a tag team match, player. I think it should just be a no holds barred match, like so that way you can hide Austin's weaknesses, because Austin hasn't had a match since 2003, and that was against The Rock. And that match, the story behind that match was that Austin literally died the night before. Like he almost literally died the night before, and so this can kind of hide Austin's weaknesses and his sluggishness, and it gives him a chance to just beat the fuck out of Kevin Owens. And that's kind of that's what the fans want to see. They want to see Austin come in and kick ass and drink beer. So a lot of the match can just be Austin beating the fuck out of Kevin Owens. And again, give that to the fans, especially the fans in Texas who are going to go ape shit as soon as that glass breaks.
Yeah, and that's the reason why, like, when people were bitching about it, because people was bitching about it, they're like, oh, they're gonna bring Stone Cold back to fight Kevin Owens and blah blah blah. And well, Austin's a draw. Sorry, once again, the theme of the night. Sorry to call home and tell you this too, but Steve Austin's a draw. Steve Austin is Texas. So I think that's a great idea. It's a good match. It's something for Owens to do. It gives Owens a rub, whether he wins or he doesn't. It gives him a nice little rub, nice little notch underneath his belt. Hey, I wrestled Stone Cold Steve Austin in his return match to WWE in some type of capacity. When there was rumors flying rampant for years about Austin doing this with Punk and Lesnar and all this other stuff, like I mean, that's the best. That's the best, man. Like that's gonna be huge. And Owens putting down Texas constantly, like I mean, it makes sense. It makes sense. So, and the promos between the two are gonna be good. So, take that into consideration as well.
Yeah, and it's just
that leads me to beg the question: what the hell does Seth Rollins do then?
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. I like the new Seth Rollins. I like it. I think it's
everybody's
so
now
ridiculous.
On the Seth Rollins train. Everybody was shitting on this guy. Oh, he's corny. I'm like, y'all just don't get it, do you? And now everybody's starting to see things me and Kodak's way. I love it. It's beautiful.
I mean, fuck. I mean, could it be Seth versus Cody? Could Cody come back and face Seth?
Hey, that'd be a good match. I've seen that match before in Florida 10 years ago. It was pretty damn good. Seth and Cody have both gotten better since then. So I mean, hey,
why not? It's Mania, so let's move on to NXT. NXT started out with Dolph Ziggler interrupts Braun Breaker in a promo. And then you have LA Knight versus Grayson Waller with Sanga. LA Knight winning. It was kind of a weird way that Knight won, or not Knight, but Waller. Like,
yeah, that roll up was not clean.
yeah, it's just like if I'm the referee, how do I not see this big motherfucker, grabbing, Waller, making sure he didn't get, in that move? But whatever. I don't work for WWE, but. Waller wins because they clearly like the guy for whatever reason. Knight ends up taking out both of them.
He took my advice and changed up his gear too, by the way.
Who, Waller?
Grayson Waller listens to the show.
I'm.
He had the shorter boxing shorts. I said he needed to get rid of those big clunky things. He's downsized them. Damn it! He's listening to the show.
He is. I'm still not a Waller fan. Sorry,
I'm not either. Trust me. But I get the reasons why they want to push him. He is a prick, and he gets a reaction from the fans. So I mean,
he definitely gets it as far as how to be a heel and how to fuck with the fans.
He wants to be a heel.
He needs better attire. When he gets to the main roster, and obviously they still have plans for him because they. Maybe he's like the Baron Corbin effect, he's a big sweetie pie. But
Baron Corbin.
Again, they love Baron Corbin. He's a sweetie pie. He doesn't ruffle any feathers. He does what they tell him to do. And maybe that's the Waller thing. He's a big sweetie pie and he does what they tell him to do. But he needs better attire. He needs to stop with the whole stick and move thing because that fucking irritates the shit out of me. I don't know why, but it just does. And I don't know, just that. Maybe he can get better in a year. Who knows? But LA Knight again. We talked about it. He's over as fuck. He's over as fuck in NXT. He's being the main roster already. That's just the way it is. Moving on. You had the Women's Dusty Classic. Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray versus Lash Legend and Amari Miller.
Who?
Lash Legend and Amari Miller.
I don't even know who the fuck those two people are.
Lash Legend had her own talk show, I think, for a little bit. It was
wait a minute. Is that the fake Wendy Williams?
Yeah.
Oh.
And Amari Miller had a match against Wendy Chu a few weeks ago.
No, I did not watch it.
Okay, never mind. But Io Shirai and Kaylee Ray won, and it was a pretty quick match. Let's see. Duke Hudson versus Dante Chen.
Duke Hudson. Finally, he's acting serious. Once again, Duke Hudson's listening to the show, people. He's acting serious now. Dante Chen. Bland Chinese guy. Sorry.
Yeah, he's he does nothing for me.
I mean, he's no Boa. I'm sorry. At least Boa's got some depth and some character. This white meat Chinese baby face. Sure, that's gonna work.
Duke Hudson with a razor's edge, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, it fits his size. I mean, a guy like that should be doing a move like that, in my opinion. And it looks better coming from a guy that size, and he should be working. Once again, we say it was our motto, Drew. Work like a big guy.
It's why
he was working like a fucking goof. He was working like a goofball before. Now he's working like a big guy.
That's why Wade Barrett never got over because he never worked like a big guy.
No, Wade Barrett tried to be too technical for it. Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Yeah, exactly.
He tried to be too fucking technical, like he was William Regal. Dude, you're fucking 6'6". Work like a 6'6" guy, man. Come on.
Yeah, it's just
trying to be fucking William Regal. There's only one William Regal.
And that's William Regal. Next
the only thing I can come close is Baby Regal. He's in NXT UK.
Next, let's see. Pete Dunne challenges Carmelo Hayes for the North American Championship. Then Cameron Grimes comes out. Carmelo,
loser. He lost his shot last week. Why is he out here?
I guess he felt he got cheated. Even though Carmelo kind of won the match clean as a sheet, but it's wrestling. Carmelo calls Pete Dunne Skeet Dunne, so that's
there you go.
That's kind of funny. Carmelo, another guy I've done a 180 on. Like
yeah, because you swore up and down this man was bland. I'm like, hey, give it time. They're getting there with this guy. And look at you now, Drew. I told you it just takes a little time. It takes a little seasoning.
It's like, who would have thunk if you had gave someone a character change and made him interesting? Who would have thunk it?
Nah, it's not even just a character change. They found him in his element because that's who he was. That's how he was successful in the Boston Indies and stuff like that. Like he's a guy that Joey Numbers has been talking about for years, man. And I'm like, yeah, I see it. Like he's definitely good. And they tried to bring him in as a white meat babyface, and it just didn't work. Like, why are you bringing this guy in as a white meat babyface when he's comfortable being a small, cocky, good-looking heel? That's his wheelhouse, man.
Well,
and they finally got there and shit.
Character change, bro. Like again, yeah. John Cena almost got cut once upon a time, and then they let him be himself, which was, hey, I'm a rapper. I'm going to be a rapper, and he got over. Roman, they just finally realized, hey, this guy, he's kind of good at being an asshole, so let's let him go out there and be an asshole, and it worked.
He's gonna be a dick. They let him go out there and be one, and look, I mean, the whole trajectory of your career changes.
See, there you go. It's like, hey, let me be myself. Let's see how that works, and it works. So who would have thunk it? Let's see. Next is the debut of Nikita Lyons.
Oh man, and I missed this apparently.
Jesus Christ, RJ!
I missed all this bootylicious bubble stuff that was going on here. I got a text message. I was on my way to work. I get a text message from my brother saying like, "Who was this broad on NXT with all this ass?" And I'm like, "Who's he talking about? Like, is that a new girl or something?" So I went on Twitter and I asked because my service is kind of shoddy, so I couldn't. I was just sending out tweets as much as I could, and then a lot of you guys started coming back to me about it's Nikita Lyons. I'm like, oh god, like I should have known, and goddamn, yeah, that's exactly what it was.
So,
and, yeah, damn.
So, I don't know if you follow Johnny Z on Twitter, or do you know?
I don't know who the hell that is.
Well, he's a friend of the show. Right. Friend of Kevin Castle as well.
I'm not trying to be disrespectful by any means by saying that, but yeah,
right. It's fine. That is. But he's been a big champion of Nikita Lyons. Like, so she used to appear on 205 Live when 205 Live was a show, and she would have a few matches, and impressive. She has an impressive look. She's what the kids call thicker than a batter of thicker than a bowl of biscuit batter. Very good in the ring, because she looks like I don't want to say a brick shit house, but she's an Amazonian woman.
No, she is a brick house. That's what we call a brick house baby right there.
Brick house baby, and so.
I mean, like she's got the goods. A lot of people forget she was the lioness in WoW. So like most of us who watched that show, like me and Mish, we already knew what this girl was working with. And I told you a couple of months ago that girl was going to be the next big thing, and you were like, who? And then I tagged you in the tweet that somebody took and posted of her at the 205 Live show, and you were like, damn. And I was like, yeah, like that's
right.
That's who I believe is going to be the next big thing because she already has it down pat. She can work. She looks great. She can sing, and I have no doubts whatsoever that's her in that theme song.
Sing
that video package didn't do her no good, but her actual music is not bad.
Like her debut was fine. I thought it maybe was a little bit too competitive, but I didn't have a problem with it. The crowd seemed like they were into her, so that's good. Oh, no, she has that working for her.
Into her, like I went back and I saw that, and like there was a lot of Nikita chants. So. That's a good sign.
They were definitely into her, and they want to be.
Yeah.
They want
more reasons than one.
They would love to be into her. You get what I mean? Huh?
Oh yeah. Like, who wouldn't? I even had
Jesus.
gay guys on Twitter saying that they would like to get suffocated by that. So I mean, that's definitely a good sign. Not that there's anything wrong with anybody being gay, but I'm just saying, like you had a bunch of gay guys going, "Damn, I want her to sit on me."
Like the best finisher in the business. I'm calling it right now. It's like Tombstone pile driver. Who?
She gave her the goddamn split splash, and I'm like, my God, that works for.
But
that size.
again, got to nitpick. Got to nitpick because I'm a fan. She needs to work on her promos because she kind of has no personality. Like in those vignettes, like you just said, didn't really do her any favors because like she would just like be like, "Oh, my dad was a rock star, and my mom was a groupie."
She's trying to be too sassy, and it doesn't come across natural. I just think that she needs to try to relax and be herself.
Like when she came to the ring, again, I wasn't too aware of her being in WoW because I don't really watch WoW, but like her whole thing is she's the lioness and Nikita Lyons. She comes to the ring and she does like the lion's roar, and I'm like, okay, that's interesting.
But my whole thing is too is like don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining about the gear she was wearing last night, but I'm just all this the whole Nikita Lyons thing and everything like that. She's not going too far away from the whole lioness thing, obviously, with that name. But my thing is, why didn't she keep that whole the whole lioness gear? That old onesie with the even more butt cheeks showing. My God.
Yeah, because like again,
the golden onesie she used to wear with the whole fur coat and everything.
Again,
to me, that fits the whole name a whole lot more better than the green Sonya Blade get up she's got going on there. And trust me, I'm not complaining whatsoever. But I'm just saying.
I'm not complaining, but again, I don't want to sound like.
I think there's too many like personalities getting tapped there.
Yeah,
you're a singer, you're an actor, singer, actress, whatever. But then you're wearing this combat sports gear. But then you're roaring like a lion too. But you're not wearing anything that kind of identifies with being a lion. You get what I'm saying? There's too much there.
It's like Cornette would say. It's a hat on a hat.
Yeah. It's just too much there for one person, and not enough to kind of spread that around as far as like her look goes. As far as I'm concerned,
it's just like So
damn, that ass though, my God, woof.
And she makes it very clear that she knows she has a fucking thick cake of just. That's all I gotta say.
Is Betty out of the room?
Betty is out of the room, but yeah. I told Betty the other night because she said that she never listens to my show, and I'm like good. And I'm like good.
Absolutely good.
I would prefer you don't listen to my show. Like, and I told my mom this one time. I told my mom straight up, like, don't listen to my show.
Yeah.
And she has listened. My mom actually did listen to my show once, and she said, "Stop cussing."
Yeah, mine too.
And I just said,
she shared a little bit of a clip, and she was like, "Yeah, you need to stop."
And I just told my mom, I prefer if you don't listen to my show. But I just told Betty that, don't listen to my show. And she goes, why? I go, I talk about disgusting guy stuff. That's why. And she's like, okay, whatever. But yeah, I think Nikita will do just fine. Just work on that.
It should be fine. You should, and that's why you're at NXT. People forget what NXT is all about.
Right.
Yes, it's on television, but NXT is still developmental. I wish people would get that through their heads. People still got to develop. So maybe things will change over time, and she'll figure things out. But, first outing, not bad whatsoever. So they got to give her some competition. A lot of those other girls, they got her green as grass. So it's kind of she'll stand out easily. But if they don't put her in there with too much girls that are just green, that can hurt a whole lot too.
Yeah, especially with like Raquel, going up to the main roster pretty soon, you're gonna need another big girl, and I think Nikita fills the spot.
She's got more experience than Raquel too in the ring, so that helps out a whole lot.
Next is the Women's Dusty Classic: Casey Catanzaro and Kaden Carter versus Diamond Mind.
Who has weave braids now? By the way, I saw that. What the hell is going on with that?
Ivy Nile and Tatum Paxley.
Tatum who? Oh my God, that's a bad name.
So I was kind of looking.
They just running out of shitty ass names now, right? Tatum. You said Tatum Baxter?
Paxley.
Oh God.
So I was kind of looking.
Let me guess, she's one of these fitness girls with guns. Because I ain't gonna lie, WWE. I mean, it's very clear to see where they be finding some of these girls at. But I mean, they're bringing all these buff chicks, man. That girl, what's her name, Erica Yen? That girl is. I've never seen a Chinese girl jacked like that before. But then you got Tiffany Stratton, she's way too buff for the character she's playing.
Yes, thank you.
And who else? Who else they got? Ivy Nile, but Ivy Nile, I mean that the whole Diamond Mine, that whole thing, that fits perfectly with her. With her, you know, she's the pit bull, and she's like jacked and shit, like, and you know, that lady's got like 12-pack abs, man. So she fits the whole Diamond Mine, you know, type thing. But yeah, I had a lot of these. Woof, yeah.
So
a lot of green in that locker room right now.
So this match, I was kind of looking away for a bit because I was doing something, and then you know, Kevin Zero and what the fuck's her name, Kaden won the match, and then what's her name, Ivy started choking out Paxley, and then Givens asked her, or not Givens, it was Roderick Strong. Roderick Strong asked her to stop. Roderick Strong is just basically counting the days until his contract expires at this point.
I don't know about that. He's got apparently Ronda Rousey wants Roderick Strong on the main roster, and he's been working main event taping, so I don't know about that.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, you never know. People could sign back, like AJ Styles, who signed a new deal, a multi-year deal for $3 million. So,
you know what? Roderick Strong, there's a whole lot into keeping a Roderick Strong around than like maybe his Undisputed Era buddies. And I think Vince would be willing to pay him the money, not to necessarily be the world champion on television, but to be somebody that could be a player coach or something like that for NXT, and then come in and do work on the main roster and stuff like that, like kind of like Drew Gulak.
Right.
So Drew Gulak is kind of known for, so behind the scenes. So don't be surprised if they keep Roderick Strong around for that.
Right. Because AEW hasn't.
And then plus, I know Ronda wants Marina back, and I know Ronda wants Roderick Strong on the main roster. So Ronda Rousey's got a lot of demands right now, and so far some of them are being met. She wanted to work with Charlotte. She wanted to be on SmackDown as opposed to Raw, and she wanted to be on SmackDown around Shayna and Natty and Charlotte, and all those are, you know, her friends and stuff like that. And apparently she wants Marina Shafir to get her job back, and she wants Roderick Strong on the main roster on SmackDown to get a nice little run.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense. And also, you know, God knows AEW doesn't need any more bland wrestlers that don't sell. Anyways, moving on. So the main event was Tommaso Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler, number one contender for the NXT Championship. I mean, what you expect? Good match. You had two guys that get it, that could work. You know, Ziggler, sometimes we forget how good he is. Like, the guy knows how to bump. The guy knows how to work. He's been in the business for over 20 years. He was trained by, Rip Rogers? He was with Cornette and OVW, so he gets the business. And then you got another guy in Ciampa who knows how to work. Ziggler won after interference from Bobby Roode dressed as a cameraman.
Yes.
So Ziggler is the number one contender for a future NXT title match, which you would think is going to be at TakeOver, but then Ziggler said, you know, it might not be at TakeOver, but it's going to be at TakeOver, so whatever. Breaker coming out and defending Ciampa, saying, you know, you two bitches want to fight right now, let's fight. So they fight, and it was nicely done because you actually had security come out and defend him, not just like, you know, they fight and then you have like two referees come out. Oh. But it was a good match. What'd you think about the match?
It's good. It's good. Like you said, Ciampa and Ziggler, two guys, are going to go out there and they're going to lay it in. They're going to lay it in heavy. And Ziggler's going to bump his ass off of Ciampa, and Ciampa's going to give it to him, and vice versa. So, like, it was a good match, good back and forth. Ziggler gets a duke with Bobby Roode, former NXT alumni and former NXT champ. So it's kind of poetic in a way. And, yeah.
Yep.
I thought it was good. That was fine.
Yeah, I enjoy NXT. I think NXT is going to piss a lot of people off, but fuck it. NXT, I think, is a much better wrestling show than AEW. Like, a lot of the shit on there makes sense. Again, NXT isn't guilty of doing the same things as AEW, but at least when NXT does it, it makes sense a little bit. Like when they have their after... AEW loves having their afterbirths.
Yeah.
But
too many of them.
But at least with NXT, it makes sense and it leads to something. Like, for example, like what just happened, the Dirty Dogs beat up Ciampa, and then Breaker comes out and just says, "Hey, you guys want to have a tag team match next week, or we can do this shit right now?" And they do it then. And it was a nice way to end the show. Whereas AEW
AEW does it every match. It seems like somebody's getting their ass kicked and somebody's gonna make a save. It's after every match, even tonight. The Penta. I mean, we're going to get into it, but I mean, even tonight, like it happened a bunch of times tonight. Like, come on, like, what are we doing?
So now AEW. They said they're in Connecticut tonight, right?
Yeah, Bridgeport.
Right down the street from WWE headquarters. Show opens up with a tag team battle royal to see who will be added to the Triple Threat Tag Team Championship match at Revolution next Sunday. The teams were 2.0.
Wait, that's next Sunday?
Yep, next Sunday, March 6th.
Holy fucking shit.
The teams were 2.0, the Ass Boys, the Beaver... What the fuck, the Beaver Boys? Jesus Christ.
What you call it?
Alex Reynolds and John Silver.
Yeah.
The Best Friends, the Butcher and the Blade, FTR, Private Party, Proud and Powerful, Red Dragon, the Young Bucks. Red Dragon wins, and next week there's going to be another Battle Royal, which I'm assuming is going to be the Young Bucks. I'm just throwing it out there. Yeah, this was just... bleh. This was not...
Oh, Drew, you know you loved it.
I secretly loved it. I was rubbing my nipples the whole time. I'm kidding. Not really.
Good.
But
Eddie, I hope you're not listening to this.
She's deaf. She's not listening, but she knows the deal. Oh yeah, I forgot. Private Party was in the match too. Just in case you guys gave a shit. Boy. I'm gonna let you.
I don't know whose fault that is. I don't know if that's Matt Hardy's fault or AEW's fault or what, but nobody cares. I'm here to tell you, nobody cares. Nobody cares.
Yeah, this.
Continue.
I came in maybe 15 minutes late because we went to go mail out our rent. Well, actually, first Betty took her car to go get the oil changed and everything. So we were waiting in the office for about an hour because there were people ahead of us. Then we went to go get something to eat. I went to go mail out the rent. And I came home and I was about 15 minutes late for the show, and I have YouTube TV, so whenever you're missing something live, you can just start from the beginning. And it's AEW, so you can fast forward through the bullshit, and there happens to be a lot of bullshit. So I was already not invested in this match because it's a battle royal and there's tag teams. The weird stipulation is that you have to eliminate both members instead of just being like, how's about eliminating one? That counts as an elimination for both teams.
Get your bitch asses out of here.
Whatever. Like I said, Red Dragon wins, and there's going to be another battle royal next week. And if I'm a betting man, RJ, I think the Young Bucks might win. Just a guess.
Ooh-wee dog. I think you might be right there.
Like,
we gotta further this tension right here between the Young Bucks and the fucking Red Dragon.
All that sexual tension.
All that sexual tension.
It's like, I love Adam Cole more, baby. He's my baby.
Adam Cole gives him more boner than anything.
Like, should they just?
He makes my dick harder than the solution to the damn how to fix the goddamn McDonald's ice cream machine.
Like should Red Dragon and the Young Bucks recreate the boy's mind?
Something.
The baby is mine. Oh my god. What'd you think about the match? I'm interested to know your thoughts on this match.
It was a fucking mess. I mean, God, I didn't make it.
Oh God.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, woohoo! We're starting off with some chaos tonight, huh? And I meant every bit of word of it, man. Like, it was a mess. I mean, and when it got down to the better tag teams, it was all right. It got good, and I mean, but they're all over the place because now FTR should have a problem with fucking Tully. The FTR should have a problem with fucking Bobby Fish and Red Dragon fucking them over. So are we going to resolve those issues too? You know what I'm saying? So like they done way too much bullshit in this matchup. So I don't know. Red Dragon, the right team to win, but I mean, like you said, I mean, goddamn, the Young Bucks are gonna win this motherfucker next week. The second chance, I guess, right? It's got to be a second chance.
Oh,
a battle royal full of the losers. They get a second shot. It's so fucking stupid.
You know what they should have done? This is just me being creative. It should have been the last two fucking people in the ring qualify their teams to be in the match. Not, hey, let's have a losers battle royal. Because we know goddamn well the Young Bucks are going to win, not fucking Proud and Powerful, which they should be, since they just fucking beat Jericho last week. And it's like, hey, like we've been complaining, like the whole point of the storyline with Jericho and Proud and Powerful was that they're complaining about not getting too many shots. And now that they have a chance to get a shot, they lose. So it's just like, come on.
Doesn't make any sense. It defeats the whole purpose of them yapping their gums for the last couple of weeks.
Rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat. That's basically AEW. Rinse and repeat. After the match, Young Bucks and Red Dragon are...
You can't tell them. You can't tell the fans that though.
Oh no, you can't.
Otherwise, you'll be in trouble, Drew.
Ooh, you'll be difficult to deal with in the back. So Adam Page comes out after Red Dragon and Young Bucks are talking shit in each other's face. Adam Page beats the shit out of Red Dragon, both of them, and then gets a chair, and then no, he doesn't get a chair, but like. Adam Cole comes to the ring, and then he beats the shit out of Adam Cole. And then he gets a chair and says, here's story time with Adam Page, baby. And then, talks a little bit of shit to Adam Cole. And again, it's like the same thing with Drew. They're we want these guys to get over, and the company wants these guys to get over because they look like something. But there's something missing. And, every now and then, Adam Page will have a spark of, hey, that's the guy we want to see. Like tonight. He cut a pretty good promo, and it's like, okay, that's the Adam Page we want to see. Not whatever the fuck it is he's been doing since he won the championship. I
don't even know what the hell he has been doing since he's been champion.
Like, he had the matches against Danielson, and that's it.
Yes, that's it. That's it. That's all he's been doing since then, so... I don't know, man. They got to do a better job of presenting Page right now, because, I mean, what they doing ain't fucking working. It ain't making him look good, and I mean, you can blame AEW. I mean, but Adam Page he's got to put that foot forward too, man.
So RJ,
yes,
we need to talk about Adam.
My mind's telling me no.
We need to do it. Damn it! It needs to happen. It needs to happen. God damn it.
Cole, I didn't want to have to come to this, but yeah, Adam Cole's looking really bad right now, man. Excuse me, and it pains me to say that because we all know how much I love me some Adam Cole.
Oh yeah, but, you'll go to your grave defending him. But go ahead.
But I mean, you gotta call a spade a spade. He's not looking good right now. He's not doing himself any favors. He's looking pretty bad, man. It's not. I don't know. Excuse me. Woo. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, he's not looking good. There's no motivation. He doesn't look well. And like I said, you got to call a spade a spade. I'm not one of these. I could be a fan of a wrestler, but I'm not going to be a mark and ignore things either. Like Cole does not look well. He doesn't look well. And something's gonna have to give, man. He's got to do something.
And it's
he's just not looking presentable right now.
Like, it's one of those things. Like in when he was in NXT, he was able to get away with being a small guy because it's like, okay, the guy at least takes it seriously. He has his own faction. They're having him. They basically treat him like he's Jesus Christ, like he's the second coming of Jesus Christ and Shawn Michaels combined. And they were able to hide his insecurities. And then he gets to AEW, and you realize, holy shit, this guy is fucking small.
Yeah.
Like, putting him in these weird segments, like automatically you throw him in the Bullet Club, like under Omega's thumb, and then you had him do that feud with Orange Cassidy for whatever reason, and had him lose to Orange Cassidy, and it's just like this is not Adam Cole. This is not the Adam Cole that we love. Like, this is, I don't know who the fuck this is, but this is not Adam Cole. And he just looks like he looks bad. Like, he just looks really bad. Like,
yeah, like booking wise, like it doesn't feel like the same Adam Cole that I've grown accustomed to and loved ever since 2010. I don't know who that guy is in the middle of that ring acting like a buffoon. Like, I don't know who that is, and that like I said, once again, pains me to see that, but like it's the truth, man. That doesn't look like that same Adam Cole that I rooted for well over a decade now. Doesn't look like him.
And it's just, I mean, I asked the question a few weeks ago, like, who's more relevant in AEW? Is it Adam Cole or is it Chris Jericho?
Well, of course it's Jericho. Jericho's gonna get his shit in no matter what.
And we'll talk
Whether
about
we
Jericho.
like it or not, he is going to get his shit in. You know what I'm saying? So that's kind of a unfair comparison. Like, I would compare Cole to like somebody like a young guy or something like that, like maybe like a Bryan Danielson, like a new arrival, like somebody that came in the same night as him.
Yeah,
who would you feel like who's doing a better job
Danielson.
right now?
Danielson
across the board. Like, Danielson's having gone out there and having the best matches. Danielson is bringing guys to his level. Or close to it. I mean, he's working with guys and showing them how to do shit the right way instead of going out here flying around balls to the walls, you know what I'm saying, like some of the other guys. So, like, Danielson is getting the best out of what he's working with. I don't know how anybody can really deny that with two eyes.
Well, I use Jericho as an example, as an example of somebody who's a top guy.
Because Jericho's not even doing top-notch work himself, so it's just like, that's kind of like the blind leading the blind right there.
Right, because like
Jericho hasn't done anything top-notch quality, in my opinion, and since he won the damn belt.
Right.
And even then, I wasn't a fan of that because I'm not into Chris Jericho. He does nothing for me.
Right.
So, like, I do not care about Chris Jericho when he comes on my television screen.
Oh no. But,
and that hopping belly doesn't make things better. Although I will say Chris Jericho's been in better shape lately. I don't know if you noticed that.
Which kind of tells you something, but we'll talk about that in a bit.
Yeah, I know, right? I'm wondering if you're thinking what I'm thinking.
Oh no! We'll get to it. We'll cross that bridge when we get to it. So MJF last week, CM Punk challenged MJF to a dog collar match at Revolution, which was announced. MJF walked away speechless for the first time. So comes out tonight, and his eyes are bloodshot, quote unquote. And tells a story about how he was bullied in high school because he was Jewish. Apparently. I don't know, whatever. Tells a story about how he was, a freshman on the football team, and his teammates came in with a bag of quarters and said, "Pick it up, Jew boy." Says that, him meeting CM Punk was the best day of his life because that's all he looked forward to. And then says when CM Punk left WWE, that broke his heart. So that's why he became a better wrestler, because CM Punk let him down. It's like in Fresh Prince. Why doesn't CM Punk want me anymore? How come he don't want me, man?
But the funny thing about his story is that less than a year later, that's when Maxwell Jacob Freeman became a thing. So his story is kind of very funny, actually.
I mean, again, MJF. I mean, it was kind of an odd promo, but like, I guess I get it because MJF is trying to get in CM Punk's head. But it's just like,
yeah,
I don't know. CM Punk character-wise seems like he could see through that bullshit. But then, CM Punk comes out and then says, "Is this true?" And then,
like a parent, is this true? Like, what the fuck?
Like, he just comes out, and it's funny you say that. I was kind of thinking the same thing because, like, he comes out and stands on the apron, has this very like serious look on his face. I'm like,
man, like that was just the whole thing was bizarre, and
like you would have thought, CM Punk just found out that his son MJF was molested.
Yeah, exactly, or something like yeah, you're right. Like it was like groundbreaking news. This is true.
Is this true? Is this true, Max? Who did this to you? Tell me.
Look how they defiled my boy.
Oh, Jesus.
Bend over,
Christ.
Max. Oh my God. Look how they massacred my boy.
Max, I want you to tell me, point me on which part of this doll where they touched you. And this is why I do not want Betty listening to the show, or my mom. Anyways, so then he says, to Punk, or he says in a promo, "You can choke me with the chain, make him bleed buckets, but he won't quit because he's better than that. He's better than you, and you know it." Yeah. Anyways, so Death Triangle versus the Kings of the Black Throne.
Kings of the Black Throne. That theme song slaps.
That was good. That was good. I was really thrown off by the Penta entrance. Like,
so apparently Pentagon, he's going back to being Pentagon Dark, but yet and all. Okay, not to get ahead of the match completely. The match was what it was. Typical tag team match. But he rolled up. He won on a roll up. On the same night, you're introducing us to a new character, a new aspect of his character. I don't know if you see my tweet, but
right,
you're introducing us to Penta, Asura, whatever the fuck. Pretty much a take on his Pentagon Dark character in Lucha Underground.
Mm-hmm.
But he wins by roll up. But not only just that. He didn't win in a strong defeat. He wins by rolling the guy up. But then he proceeds to get his ass whooped. Not only by them, but then by debuting
Buddy
Matthews, who looks great. Physically looks phenomenal. Like, which has never been a problem for him, but it's the fact that he has no personality. But yeah, like, I mean, he looked great. And, I mean, new member of the House of Black. I mean, Stevie Wonder stuck in a basement or two, could have seen that coming, but yeah, like I mean that's a good thing that that Tony Khan's going to be paying him some do re mi fa sol la ti do. But yeah, it's just I don't know. I wouldn't have done it tonight. Because see, now you're rushing shit. And that's the last thing you want to do, especially I'm sorry, look, I'm a different type of wrestling fan. I'm not a guy who gets all wet over surprise after surprise. Like, right. I like progression. If you're debuting a new character tonight, Drew, with the Pentagon Dark stuff, establish that character tonight.
Right.
Establish that character. Tell us why it's different than Penta L0M. Show us why it's different. I didn't feel like anything was different tonight except for his entrance. He got his ass kicked like a joke after the match and during the match. He wasn't dominant.
And that's...
So, to me, you should have built it up. If you wanted to do the rematch, you should have did the rematch at a different point in time. And instead, you could have had another tag team. Hell, you could have Brian Pillman Jr. You could have had them come back out and have them challenge again. It wouldn't make quite sense, but shit, nothing in wrestling really makes sense, anyways. Or you could have had some other tag team, white meat babyface tag team, trying to get in the faces of fucking the Kings of the Black Throne, and you have them whip their asses, and then you could have brought out Buddy for that, you know?
Right.
But you know what I would have done? I would have done this, okay? You could have played on continuously what happened earlier with Matt Hardy getting pissed off at the Private Party. Could have had Matt Hardy go in the back and be like, "Hey, I'm not impressed with you guys lately. You guys been fucking letting me down a whole lot, and it's starting to piss me off. Y'all better go out there and impress me right now. You better do something to impress me right here, right now." And they go out and try to, be all macho, try to, press Matt Hardy by going out there and trying to fight with the Kings of the Black Throne. Then you have the Kings of the Black Throne beat them soundly, and then you have Malachi Black maybe try to beat them down. Matt Hardy comes down to the ring, maybe tease that he's going to kind of save him, but then kind of leaves disappointed like he did, a couple weeks ago, and like he was disappointed tonight. And then you do the whole thing where, Malachi Black and Brody King are about to murder fucking Isaiah Cassidy or whatever. And then you have Buddy Matthews come in, and then they beat him down and shit like that. And then maybe, I don't know, maybe you have the Blade and the Butcher come out, try to make the save or something like that, and they kick his ass too. That way you could have made those guys look strong too. Because guess what? The Butcher and the Blade ain't getting a push right now. Private Party and Matt Hardy, they're obviously heading Splitsville, right?
Right.
There would have been no harm, no foul there. But my whole thing is, you got Penta, you're trying to establish a new character, but yet no, you're shitting in his mouth the first night of this character. That rubbed me the wrong way tonight.
Yeah, so basically what you're saying is that, if you're going to debut a new character, like, at least don't have them bury a team that actually is over. Like, bring in a shit team. Bring in a team that isn't getting a title shot anytime soon. Like, I understand that, because it's just like the whole Penta thing. Again, it kind of threw me off because, again, you know more about this shit than me. Like, you know more about like the indies than me. So that's why I like having you on, because I'm just like, okay, RJ, explain this. But like, it's just like if you're gonna debut a new character, it's like give it some time to breathe. Like, don't just
exactly. Like, give it some progression. Like, show us why this character is different than Penta L0M. And AEW failed on that tonight.
Right.
And I don't know how anybody with functioning eyeballs can miss that.
Yeah, that's the Booker of the Year. What can we do?
Yeah, exactly.
Booker of the Year with a big ass checkbook. Next is the Chris Jericho and Eddie Kingston segment. There's security in the ring. Eddie Kingston comes out and he gets a big reaction, and it's funny, like he comes out and poses next to one of the guards. He's like, "What the fuck is this?" Jericho comes out, and again, Jericho looking a lot more slimmer these days.
Yes.
And I'm pretty sure you're thinking what I'm thinking, and I'm thinking what you're thinking. I'm thinking Jericho's going to be going back to the E pretty soon.
Yes, he is getting in that WWE shape.
Like,
I don't believe in coincidences, but damn, he is getting in WWE shape.
Oh yeah, same thing with because me and Jeff Lippman talked about on the show last week that Cody's going back, and pretty soon Jericho's going to go back, because Jericho made some very cryptic tweets. He talked about Kevin Owens, when they were talking about the anniversary of the Best Friends thing from 2017. And he said, Kevin Owens, I haven't forgot about it. You never know where I'll turn up. And then, he said something about Cody where he said, I'll see you on the other side, brother. So that's.
That was without a doubt. That was without a doubt.
Oh yeah, he'll be back. And then I think Moxley will be back pretty soon, because he can't keep doing the deathmatch shit forever.
Mox, yeah.
He just got out of rehab. Like, come on, like, you're gonna want stability. You have a kid. Like, take the easy paycheck, and also Roman needs more main event guys. So why not bring back Dean Ambrose?
Yeah.
Like, come on. But they're basically doing the CM Punk feud where Jericho's calling Eddie Kingston a bum.
You already know who. You know who else I think is going to be on their way back too sooner than later? Miro.
Yeah.
They're doing jack shit with this fucking guy.
Like, he made a comment talking about how like he's ready to come back. He's just waiting on creative.
That sounds like very WWE shit to me.
Oh yeah, like he'll be back.
Book of the year. Yeah, he'll be back. Yeah, I heard those comments too. No, yeah,
because it's just like again, it's money. You know, Eric Bischoff, you know, on his podcast had talked about the Cody situation. You know, and he said, I'm just paraphrasing. He said, you know, that he was shocked that Cody left the first time because that's a lot of money. That's a lot of money you're leaving on the table to go and just prove that you're a good wrestler. And again, to Cody's credit, and we shout on him a lot and deservingly so, but to Cody's credit, he bet on himself and did everything he wanted to do.
Yeah.
So good for him, and he's going back to WWE for a big payday.
He reinvented himself. He reinvented himself. Whether we agree with some of the stuff, like I still think that tattoo is fucking just goofy. Like that is probably the worst thing you could ever have done to yourself. But he's a grown ass man. He can do whatever he wants to do with his body. But Cody overall reinvented himself.
Right.
He did what you're supposed to do. Like Al Snow said in a clip I saw on YouTube. He went away, reinvented himself. Jericho, he did the same thing. Like he went away, reinvented himself. I mean, I find that Painmaker shit very, very cringy, but Jericho went away and he reinvented himself too. Same thing with Miro. Went away, reinvented himself. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it's best to do that sometimes. Just go away, reinvent yourself. Try to add a few aspects to your character, your repertoire, this, that, and the other, and then come back and do what you got to do.
Right, and again, all those guys are going back to WWE. Like they're going to take the big payday. You know, WWE. They're going to give Jericho a big ass contract and maybe a Hall of Fame push. They're going to give Moxley.
Oh yeah,
a big ass.
Undoubtedly in the Hall of Fame.
Because I know Moxley told a story about how he ran into Vince in a hotel not too long ago, so he'll be back. And then same thing with Miro. But so this promo. I mean, it's basically the CM Punk thing of Jericho calling Eddie Kingston a bum and that he was never good and blah, blah, and that, he's afraid of success, blah, blah, blah. And then he was jumbling his words, like he was saying the wrong words. He said that the pay-per-view was going to be in May, but it's really in March. And then Kingston just a lot of
don't they have a pay-per-view? They have a pay-per-view in May. Double or Nothing is going to be in May.
Yeah, but it's Double or Nothing, but they're going to wrestle at Revolution.
We're wrong pay-per-view though.
Right. And then, Kingston making digs at a company that he never worked for, even though he was in developmental for like a minute. Just that's.
He's going to be a coach, ma.
They didn't let me talk about how I was getting shot in the streets. It's like, what? Like that whatever.
Hey, Eddie Kingston's a dog now.
I don't hate Eddie Kingston. I think
he's a New York legend. He speaks his mind. He's a very passionate man. Just like Homicide.
I love Homicide, dude. I love Homicide. I'm not gonna shit on Homicide.
I worship the ground those guys walk on. All right, Low Key too. A lot of people hate Low Key for political reasons. But I don't care about political stuff.
Low Key.
Hey, other people's favorite wrestlers, they do worse. So, but yeah, those guys are just legends. Amazing Red too.
All right. Again, I'm not gonna shit on Eddie Kingston. I like Eddie Kingston. I mean,
they put Brooklyn and Yonkers on the map.
He's a good talker. He's a good promo. Can't deny that. And then Eddie Kingston told Jericho, "I don't want the mimosa Jericho. I don't want the Jericho that puts off the stage. I want the Jericho that was the first AEW champion. I want the Jericho that got respect from one of my heroes, Tenryu. I want the Jericho that his close friend Levesque hated. And if he doesn't show up, I'm going to eat him alive." So there you go.
He's getting a shout out on AEW, huh?
And then it sets up, Rampage, blah, 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 who cares? Preston T. Vance versus Ricky Starks in a qualifying match for the Revolution ladder match. Ricky Starks wins. He's added to the match along with Will Hobbs, Wardlow, and Keith Lee.
I'm trying to make sense of this matchup here, this ladder match, because it's not making sense to me.
Yes, I was thinking the same thing, because it's just like a ladder match. When you think of a ladder match, occasionally you'll throw in a big guy.
But you got three big guys. Keith Lee can move for his size, and so can Hobbs and Wardlow, but they're not guys that are going to be doing dives and tricks with the ladder. You know what I'm saying? You catch my vibe?
Right.
And then you have Ricky Starks, a guy who's had a history of neck problems. That's not exactly the lineup I would have for a ladder match. Don't get me wrong. I like that Wardlow's in it, and I like that Hobbs is in it, like, because those guys are getting the spotlight, because I like both of those guys. And both of those guys, to me, should be in WWE, but that's another story.
Yep.
And Ricky Starks, too, by the way.
Okay, yeah.
Stark's got character work, man. Like if he would have cut a promo in front of Vince, I think Vince would like it.
And he also looks like The Rock. Like, he looks like a mini Rock.
Yeah, and I don't even think... You see, a lot of people accuse him of trying too hard with that, and I'm like, well, I don't think he's trying too hard. That's just who he is. You see pictures of him outside, even before he became AEW. That's just who that guy is. That's who Ricky Starks the man is. So, but yeah, like, he's got flash to him and pizzazz. Like, to me, that's something that, to me, I think Vince can use. But yeah, I just find this lineup very weird.
Yeah, it's odd. And then they announced another qualifying match on Rampage is going to be Anthony Bowens versus Orange Cassidy, which, guess who's going to win that match?
Oh, God. You know what would be funny if Bowens wins it?
Yeah, it's just
Bowens wins it.
Can we please...
Caster was in it last year.
It's like...
They put Bowens in it this year. That'd be funny.
It's like, can we please be done with Orange Cassidy, for the love of God? Also...
Yeah, Tony Khan loves his Orange Cassidy.
Speaking of Max Caster, did you see the Twitter thing between Max Caster and Carmelo Hayes?
Where he called Carmelo Hayes a racist?
Well, did you see the other posts?
No, I didn't.
So there was a fan who posted a GIF of Carmelo Hayes doing his, I guess, like his hand gesture or whatever.
Yeah, when he talks about being the A champ.
Yeah, and then Max.
I know the whole origin of the thing, because they claim they do the same thing. Bowens gets in the ring, they claim have arrived. Yeah, I know. I know the whole origin behind it, but and the last I seen of it is when he called him a racist. I'm like, what?
Well, because what Carmelo Hayes said after Max Caster's comment, he says, I wouldn't know about that. I don't watch the YouTube show.
I don't blame him. I don't watch that either. Shit.
And then that's when Max Caster called him a racist. So I'm just like, how do you call him a racist? But whatever. And then Carmelo Hayes said in his promo at NXT, I start fire on everywhere, even on the Bird app. So I thought that was kind of funny. Yeah. But let's go back to this. So Jade Cargill defending the AEW TBS Championship against the Bunny. Cargill wins.
Oh, that was a sloppy match.
And then her next opponent's going to be Ty Conti.
Oh my God. Morgan's girl
at Revolution in a who gives a shit match.
Oh, hey, stop it now. There's a lot of women in that ring. Hey, all the matches cannot be technical masterpieces. Like I told somebody on Twitter, not everything can be perfect. And somebody said, "Well, AEW fans think everything is perfect." Well, I said, "Well, you got to look some of them in the eye and say it's just not to be."
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
But anyways, yes. Like, no, this would not be a technical masterpiece. It'd be the ass against the abs.
Well,
right?
Jade's got an ass. She's got an ass. She's, my only likeness from her is her fulfilling my sick fantasies of doing a Storm cosplay. But, anyways. Reason number 10, I don't want Betty listening to the show. Speak of the devil, she walked in. Hi.
Here we go.
Nothing, we were just saying nice things about you.
Do the MVP, Betty.
RJ says hi.
Hello.
Betty said hello.
Hope everybody's doing fantastic tonight.
Love you. Anywho,
Drew Yari's getting a whooping right after the show, y'all. So
yeah, regardless of what happens. So let's see. Keith Lee is interviewed backstage.
What a way to cool him off, huh?
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
You could have this guy at least do a run-in and hit like somebody with a fucking spirit bomb or something. Like, come on.
Again, Booker of the Year, people. Booker of the Year.
Shit.
So the main event, American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Red Death Daniel Garcia. Which the whole point of the match in general is, Daniel Bryan or Bryan. I keep calling him Daniel Bryan. Fuck. Bryan Danielson wants to form an alliance with Jon Moxley, but he also wants to recruit guys like Daniel Garcia, Lee Moriarty,
all these technical wrestler guys with no personality, which I'm all for, by the way.
And then last week, Moxley didn't really deny it, but he just says straight up, if I'm going to go to war with someone, I need to bleed with them first, which Steve Pena
hey, that's true. I mean, that's how we think on the streets. So, I mean, when he said that, I was like, hey. Like,
no, I'm not disagreeing. I'm not disagreeing with that. I'm just thinking about a joke that Steve Pena had on Hammerlock Hangover. When he said, that kind of explains his relationship with Renee.
Oh, good Lord.
To which Jeff Lippman just said, moving on. If anyone doesn't know, Steve Pena does not like Jon Moxley at all.
Steve Pena does not like anything AEW related. Trust me, I know.
Well, no,
I know Steve right. Very well.
Oh no, but he straight up does not like Jon Moxley. Like he has this feud with Jon Moxley where it almost seems like he's creating stories for how much he doesn't like Jon Moxley. But shout out to Steve, by the way, he's a good dude.
Steve is great. I love Steve.
So
I want to do a show with him.
Oh, fuck yeah! I love him. I need to ask him to be on the show one day. So this match, it wasn't my cup of tea personally. I mean, it's very, very much a scientific, technical wrestling match. It didn't really do anything for me personally. I was kind of, there were points where I was kind of nodding off a little bit. It was very slow paced. The crowd seemed like they were into it. I could see people online loving it. It just wasn't for me.
It's all right for what it was. I mean, it's one of those things where you have to know what you're getting with both of these guys. Daniel Garcia doesn't do it for me personally. Like, I know he's this great scientific wrestler and this, that, and the other, but number one, he doesn't have a badass aura to me. He's a bland-looking guy. He looks like a guy that works with me at Walmart. That's what I'm saying. Like, if Bryan Danielson's gonna get some of these guys, he's got to slap some goddamn personality into him or something. Give these guys, he's bland, dude. Like, yeah, he's great if you're just watching purely for wrestling, but a lot of us don't watch purely for wrestling. Like, we watch wrestlers because wrestlers have different flair and different personalities to go along with the wrestling, too. That's what makes Bryan Danielson so damn good at what he's doing right now, because, yes, he's this great wrestler, but he's making you invested by, talking his shit and planting seeds and saying a lot of different stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's doing good. He's working the crowd. Garcia came out. He got next to little no reaction tonight. I dare anybody to challenge me on that.
Oh, no. Here's the thing.
Like I said, great technician.
I'm fine with
it's just like he has nothing else to his name.
I'm fine with technical wrestling matches. I am, but it's just like I need some flair to it. And by flair, I don't mean kicks, super kicks. Let's kick a guy in the face 15 times and he doesn't sell. I need I want the fucking shit to look like it hurts. Like, I want it to be interesting. I want it to engage me. I want it to be fucking. Let me think of the best possible way I can, I want it to be. I want fucking Bryan Danielson to look like he's having a match with Chris Benoit.
Yeah. Or even to a lesser degree, even somebody like a Pete Dunne who looks like he's trying to have fun while doing it,
right,
by cranking on the joints, by doing animative things with it,
or
by
Walter,
by making the silly. Well, Walter's not a technical wrestler. He's more of a smash 'em, bash 'em with a little pizzazz add to the middle of it.
Right.
But when I think of technical wrestling, I think of somebody like a Pete Dunne who, like I said, tries to be animative with it by, clicking back their digits and making the stupid faces with the damn mouthpiece and stuff like that. like he's into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm bending this motherfucker's middle finger back. I'm being sinister with it. Whereas Daniel Garcia, I'm cranking back the arm. Ooh, it's time to bend it back. Ooh, it's time to step on it. Boom, 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 boom.
Like, you
guys entertained? Like,
give me Kurt Angle versus Chris Benoit from the Royal Rumble in 2003. Like, that's what I want. That's the technical wrestling I want. But yeah, this match didn't do it for me. Daniel Garcia, a lot of people seem to like him. I'm not a fan of him. He's very bland. He didn't do it for me. So that was AEW. And then before the show went off, Moxley came out and got in Brian's face, and then Brian says, "I accept your challenge at Revolution." So got that to look forward to.
Should be a good match.
So that's pretty much all the wrestling. As far as news-wise goes, 2 bits of news, and then we can just, I guess, call it a night. AJ Styles signed a new contract with WWE. It was
surprises the shit out of me because I thought AJ would have been done.
Yeah, he said straight up that the current he said a while back that the contract he was with WWE was going to be the last wrestling contract he signs, and then
he said that he said when he signed that WWE contract initially that it was going to be his last run, but I guess money and accountability talks.
Again, wrestling is a business.
He's got to be really mighty comfortable with signing another contract. $3 million.
Multi-million-dollar contract for $3 million, similar to the Kevin Owens deal. It's noted that Styles deserves every penny, and that he would easily make that money back for the company. Let's see. He's said to be very happy in the company, and has mentioned in multiple interviews that how he'd like to work for WWE when his in-ring career is over. He recently spoke with Wrestling Inc. managing editor Nick Hosman last month about signing a new deal with WWE. He said it was easy. I want to be here. This is the place for me. If they let me, I will retire here. I hope to work in WWE in some capacity when I retire. I enjoy what I do. Styles also talked to Hosman about what he would like to do after his in-ring career, admitting that a role similar to that of WWE Hall of Famer Shawn Michaels would be great. I would love to have that opportunity.
See him in that.
I'd love to have that opportunity. I'd love to see people be successful, and having a hand in that, to me, it would be probably the best thing I can do in my career, but I don't think I'll get that opportunity. I am just saying. And Styles is rumored to face Edge at WrestleMania 38, but nothing is official as of this writing, which I forgot to talk about that in the Raw review that, Edge came out. And
a damn good promo.
Oh, yeah, that was a great promo. And he was very methodical about, I guess, who he wanted to face. He just said straight up, I want WrestleMania to be phenomenal. I want to live forever, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people
thought... Something about being undeniable.
Right.
Something that Cody said in the past, too. So, yeah, he kind of teased Cody and AJ there. So, I guess we'll have to see. Both of those matches, either match would be good. But I think Styles needs something solid for Mania, and I think that's a way to give him a contract, give him $3 million for his hard work, and for people questioning why would he be with somebody like Omos and blah 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 blah. That's his reward for bringing Omos along. Sorry.
And it's AJ fucking Styles, dude. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, AJ deserves that money. He's busted his ass. He started out in WWF developmental, kind of. Like, he was making next to no money. Goes to TNA when it was just starting. He busted his ass over there. Was in Ring of Honor, went to New Japan and recreated himself. Comes to WWE, and I remember when he debuted. I remember the night after his debut, Kevin Castle. And Kevin Castle will admit this. Like, he'll wholeheartedly admit this.
He did a 180 on him.
He didn't think AJ would be anything in this company. Like, he even said straight up, like, he would be released by the end of the year. And what happened? AJ got himself over. He changed his character.
I thought that was extreme. I thought that was a little extreme, Kev. But I didn't think he would be released. But I didn't think he would be main event status.
He became WWE champion.
I will die on this hill, but I think the two matches he had with Roman was the deciding factor in him getting his world championship run.
Oh yeah,
in WWE.
And
those
the
two matches with Roman.
Feud with Cena, that helped too.
No, but more so the stuff with Roman, though. I think that's what really got Vince's trust in him, because he made Roman look like $1 million while making himself look good too. He established both concepts, and then he went on the feud with Cena, which was great. But then, yeah, and everything led to another, and he got that trust, man. He got that McMahon trust.
He beat
that fucking payback match was so fucking good, and then they went back a month later and had that Extreme Rules match. I mean, my God, Vince gave this man 2, not 1, but 2 matches with Roman, 2, to make him look like $1 million, and in the process making AJ himself look like $1 million.
And then going back to the Cena thing, like Cena let Styles beat him clean as a sheet at SummerSlam. Like, I remember that.
Yeah.
And I remember recording it, actually, like on my phone. When he did it, I went, holy shit.
Yeah.
And then Cena doing his best impression of Forrest Gump at the end, or Forrest Gump at the end of the movie whenever he has to say goodbye to Jenny or something. Jenny, I don't know what's going on, Jenny. Mama always said. But, yeah, like, AJ got himself over, and like he told the story about how Vince McMahon literally told him straight up, "You're not that special. Like, we have guys that can do exactly what you can do. Like, what can you do that's so special?" And he got himself over. Like, he became a heel. You know, the whole
showed him better than you can tell him.
Like the whole beat up John Cena thing. I remember that. That was funny. And again, became a 2-time WWE champion. You know, Intercontinental champion, U.S. champion, tag champion, and like.
So wait a minute, you're not going to give Carl Anderson and Baldy McBalderson their credit for that?
No.
They had a hand in that getting over too.
No.
Too sweet.
Never.
The Good Brothers.
If by credit do you mean I will fucking shoot him out of a cannon? No. Then yeah, that's exactly what I mean.
A lot of people hate the Good Brothers, man.
I hate Carl Anderson. I don't like Carl Anderson. I don't have a problem with Luke Gallows. Carl Anderson just is a fucking dick.
What did Carl Anderson do to everybody?
He just has fucking poor internet grammar, and the whole thing with fucking, what's her name, Daphne, whenever he basically decided to make everything about him.
Oh, yeah, with the whole rehab stuff. Talking about WWE doesn't take care of people or something like that, which is absurd. That's absurd.
It's like, dude, read the fucking room. You're a dick. Fuck you. Go fuck yourself. Like, I hope you fucking die. Anyways,
wait a minute, hold on, that's extreme now.
I don't hope he dies. I just hope he walks into the street and possibly gets hit by a truck. Anyways, moving on.
Well, that's one hot Asian wife that's left behind.
Yeah, and I'll fill that void. She's
gonna need some consoling.
It's like, I'm sorry for your loss, Mrs. Anderson.
But you need a new machine gun in your life. Now reach into that right pocket there.
I want you to reach right in that pocket right there. I want you to put your hand on the trigger. And I want you to
cock that bad boy back.
Oh boy. Jesus Christ. Oh, do you want me to play it?
No, I'm good. Oh no. Oh God. Oh boy. Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God.
Oh God, oh God, oh God, oh God. Anyways, last bit of news. Before we call it a night. Drake Maverick is back with the company. Not as a wrestler, but he's working creative. He put on his LinkedIn, I am pleased to announce that towards the end of 2021, I accepted the wonderful offer of becoming a part of the WWE creative writing team as a writer/producer. Some of my last appearances in the ring for WWE fittingly happened in the United Kingdom. The last appearance of that tour was in my hometown of Birmingham, UK, where it all started. My parents had seen me perform many times at arena shows, but never for the WWE. I was finally at peace with what I had accomplished in life and said to them both at the hotel, with tears rolling down my face, beaming with pride, my mom and dad, I did it. I finally My final appearance was in the ring in Louisville, Connecticut, or Kentucky, I mean, which was my first home in the United States when I moved to the country in 2013.
Yeah,
This writes itself, doesn't it? After a fun and entertaining match involving a cavalcade of stars, we returned to the gorilla position of smiling faces and a round of applause. That UK tour ending with that night in Louisville was the most rewarding week of my career. If you told me there and then that was the end, I was good with it. I now have the opportunity to expand my horizons even further in the industry, and I love as well as many other avenues, including film and television. After a career beginning in 2001 as an in-ring performer, I have personally exceeded all of my personal expectations from a geographical and physical standpoint in a line of work somebody like myself should never succeeded in. Needless to say, all thanks to the people I have had the pleasure of being around on the journey and this industry as a whole. I am in a blessed position in life. It owes me nothing, yet I owe it everything. Thanks for reading, James. So, in a span of 22 months, Drake Maverick has been fired, hired, and then rehired. Or let me rephrase that. Fired, rehired, fired, and then rehired again. In a span of 22 months. Like, that's pretty fucking amazing.
Yeah, no, right. I mean, they must see a lot in this guy, which shows a testament to his character and his work ethic. And I don't mean character as on television. I mean character as far as him as a human being. They must see something in this guy that's really, really worth keeping around in some type of capacity. So I mean, good on Rockstar Spud, Drake Maverick, James, whatever his last name is. Because he's obviously earned that goodwill with somebody in the company.
Also, he's just a good dude.
For the fact and the point that they keep on bringing him back. They cut him and go, do we really need to? And they keep on bringing him back. So it's for a reason. It's never for just any old reason. It's for a sharp and damn good reason. So.
And he's got a hot-ass wife. That's way out of his league.
I heard that. I heard some disturbing rumors about that woman.
Like what?
That she's not exactly a woman. Somebody's like, she always wears a choker all the time around her neck, protecting that bump, that proverbial bump, as they like to say. Oh, God, don't know.
I mean...
No way, that's a matter, no.
I mean, as long as he's happy.
Whatever floats your boat, sugar.
I mean, I always knew there was something pretty sweet about him. I always knew he had some sugar in his tank.
Well, didn't he wear lipstick and TNA with no problem?
Not that there's anything wrong with that.
Not that there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, they doing shit that I'd never ever do in my whole entire lifetime. But I mean, hey, whatever floats your boat. Like I said, whatever floats your boat, sugar.
I mean,
just don't bring it over here.
It's like my Betty's cousin's kid. We were talking about, and it was the subject of someone being gay, and he just jumps in. He's like, "What are you guys talking about?" And we're like, "Oh, well, blah blah blah. So and so is gay." He's like, "Oh, gay?" It's like, "Hey, I don't have a problem with it, but just don't kiss around me, okay?" I'm like, that's the perfect response.
Yeah, there you go. Because ain't nobody want to see all that.
I mean, straight.
I'm sorry, I don't want to see that. I mean, it's enough when like heterosexual people do it in movies,
exactly,
and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, okay. I get it. But to see two men do it, yeah, that's why I had to stop watching Empire. It's not like I said, it's not like I'm anti-gay or anything like that. I just don't want to see two men with their tongues down each other's throats. I don't want to see that. I don't get my jollies off by seeing that.
Yeah,
I don't want to see that.
It's like Rocket and Infinity War. Yeah, it's a bit much.
Yeah, it's a little.
But was there anything else you wanted to bring up?
Spider-Man No Way Home is going to be out for pre-order. It's actually out for pre-order now. So you motherfucking webheads out there, you can go ahead and go and pre-order that motherfucker now. Because Lord knows that movie was the greatest movie of 2021, and I'll fight anybody that tells me any differently.
Yeah, tell it to the Oscars. Fucking dickheads.
Oh, screw those guys.
It's like
they're like Martin Scorsese movies.
Fucking dipshits. Like, okay,
movies
it's like
I'd never ever watch in my whole entire lifetime.
It's like the Oscars. They're complaining about, why are we losing viewers? It's like, I don't know. Why don't you nominate films that people actually fucking watch?
Yeah, exactly.
Like Spider-Man No Way Home, the best reviewed movie out of everybody. Like, even people that I didn't even know like superhero films, people I knew personally, love Spider-Man No Way Home. And
exactly. Same here.
And you know why? And me and Ruben discussed this on our show. It was a movie for everybody.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't a movie. It wasn't a movie for one person. It was a movie that everybody could enjoy.
It was a movie that a lot of people can enjoy or could relate to too, as well. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that everybody's been on a run before in their whole entire lifetime, but like most people feel, like Peter did, and in that situation that he was in and stuff like that. So, and some of the decisions that's why to me Spider-Man is one of the best superheroes, because Spider-Man's not the richest. Spider-Man doesn't have any of the cool shit that Iron Man and Batman and Superman have. But Spider-Man has heart, and he has that relatability. A lot of us are poor. He's poor too. I mean, so there's a lot of likability and humanity there within Spider-Man, despite being a guy who has superpowers, who's a fucking human spider. You know what I'm saying? So that's my piece. I mean, that's why he's always been a favorite.
Like, because I was watching this old documentary it was from the History Channel I think it was like AMC History Channel from 2005, and it was about superheroes. And I forget the exact name of the documentary, but I know Keith David, narrated it, and I was talking about the history of comic books, Marvel and DC and like everyone else, and Stan Lee had talked about he created Spider-Man out of these, like, in Marvel Comics, I don't know if they do it anymore, where they would have like a special section for like, the readers saying, hey, I love the Fantastic Four, I love blah, blah, blah. And, the Fantastic Four was made as a response to the Justice League. And, people reading the Fantastic Four loved it, and they were getting a lot of letters from like people in high school and, college. And originally they made Marvel Comics bread and butter was like Captain America and Namor as a response to the war. And, after the war ended, that's where it started to lose its luster. So, and, you had a lot of adults reading Captain America comics because they love the war. They love seeing Captain America beat up, Nazis and Hitler. So, whenever they made Fantastic Four, it got over because people looked at it as like, oh, you have superheroes that don't really want to be superheroes. And not just like, hey, I'm Superman, I'm happy. Look at me, I'm flying around in a cape, I have no problems. I'm Batman, I have no problems. Like, the Fantastic Four are like, what the fuck are these powers? Like, what? Like, we didn't fucking want this. So, Stan Lee noticed in a lot of the Fantastic Four comic books that he had like fan letters and like comments from fans in high school and college that were like, can we get a superhero that's in high school? Can we get a superhero of someone we can relate to? So that's when he made Spider-Man. And originally, the head of Marvel almost rejected it because he's like, no, teenagers can't be superheroes. They have to be men. They have to be grown men. Teenagers are only like sidekicks. And then when Spider-Man came out, it became this huge fucking hit. Like, he became a global icon almost. And before Marvel was Marvel, Spider-Man was ingrained in pop culture. Like, Spider-Man is Marvel. Yeah. When you think of it, like when you think of Marvel, you think of Spider-Man or the X-Men. So, and I'll send you that documentary if you're interested. I have it on my YouTube, but it's like an hour and a half. It's pretty good.
Yeah, float that over, boy. Yeah, like he's relatable, man. And even as an adult, some of the issues and some of the struggles he goes through. And I guess some of the struggles that we're going to see him go through within this next trilogy, you know what I'm saying? They just it's relatable shit. It tugs at the strings because a lot of us have been on the verge of getting kicked out. A lot of us know what it's like to be alone. You know what I'm saying? So it's relatable shit, you know? And it tugs at emotions.
And then Tom Holland is just, again, Tom Holland is perfect. He's the perfect Spider-Man.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Hey, look, I love Toby too, but to me, I didn't feel sorry for Toby. In fact, I wanted to join in on the bullying of Toby. Whereas Tom, I feel bad for Tom. I do. So
Tom is just so damn good. Like, and Tom's already made it clear he's going to be Spider-Man for a while. He's going to and Sony wants him. Like they want to keep. Yeah. They're going to back up like 4 garbage trucks full of money to keep him. Like they will keep him. And you know they're very persistent about building this new Sony verse, which we'll see.
I'm not too judged about that. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like they should just make the deal. You do the little shitty Spider-Man movies over there on Sony, but let Marvel keep doing what they're doing with Tom Holland. You want to go ahead and make more Spider-Man movies over there? You use Andrew Garfield.
and like this kind of brings in the wrestling talk. Like Tom Holland has already been with the Avengers, and you're going to put him with Venom. With this Venom, it's like it kind of downgrades him a little bit. Like when you think about it. So and it's good at the end of Spider-Man: No Way Home. Spoilers: the movie came out in December. At the end, you know, a piece of the symbiote stayed in the MCU.
Mm-hmm.
So we get that possibility of telling a proper Venom story.
Yeah.
So
as long as we don't do the whole Eddie,
Eddie.
None of that, please.
It's like
Peter.
It's like I said before. I don't give a shit about Tom Hardy's Venom. Tom Hardy's a good actor.
He's a good actor. I can do without all that.
Eddie, I'm hungry.
Like, huh? Like, yeah, I can't take this shit seriously, dog. Like, yeah, it's bad. It's pretty damn bad.
But it's just like going back to the Oscars. It's like everyone's sucking Dune's balls. It's like Dune looks like a fucking superhero movie.
Dune.
What makes Dune different than like Spider-Man: No Way Home? Tell me.
Let me tell you something, Drew. I saw Dune, and I couldn't finish it. I was like, "What is this? This is just."
It's like
I can't watch this.
It's like I don't know. Nobody.
Y'all going crazy about this movie?
And I watched it. I thought it was just okay.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it was just bland. Like I won't say it was Eternals. Because Eternals put me to fucking sleep, woke me back up, and put me back to sleep again. And that was on a fucking Sunday. A day where I'm kind of rejuvenated because I've slept away all Saturday and sleep Saturday night away as well. So on Sundays, I'm pretty much energetic, and I don't really take naps until like later on in the day. Like, don't get me wrong, I do disappear off social media, but I take naps a little bit later on in the day before I go into work. But I mean, my God, like that movie just took my soul, man. It's like Selma Hayek came through the television. Never mind. Not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah,
come on. Yeah, we got. We can talk about it for a bit. The Doctor Strange trailer.
Oh yes,
that they played during the Super Bowl. Everyone's talking about it because, again, it looks like it's going to be batshit bananas. Like, it looks like it's
going to be banana.
The crowd go banana. It looks like it's going to be a horror movie, and then you got Sam Raimi coming back, and which, again, the Don, he created... Well, he didn't create, but he directed, 3 Spider-Man movies, 2 of them being good. So he comes back. His first Marvel movie since 2007. And the movie looks like it's going to be fucking, like, bonkers. Like, there's already the rumors of who's going to appear in it. And in the trailer, you get you hear something. And then you get a glimpse of it, but you hear it mostly. And it's fucking dead on Patrick Stewart's voice. I know what Patrick Stewart's voice sounds like. I watched Star Trek: The Next Generation. I watch all the X-Men movies.
We watch Star Trek. We watch all the X-Men movies. We hear him on American Dad. We know Patrick Stewart's voice when we hear it and see him. Damn it, that bald ass head turning around in that wheelchair. I saw it.
We should probably tell him the truth. It's like, that's fucking Patrick Stewart. Like,
yeah, of course.
There is nobody else you can. There's no way. And Patrick Stewart is being cute about it. He just said straight up, like, "Hey, people have been imitating my voice for years, so who knows?" I'm like, Patrick, we know what you're trying to do.
Nice try,
but we know that's you. Like, come on. The whole thing with the Illuminati in the MCU and in the movie, and the rumor being that the Illuminati wants to wipe out the current MCU because they're tired of Doctor Strange fucking around.
Tired of you dicking around, Strange.
tired of you, goddammit.
What did I do wrong?
The rumor
fucking around.
The rumor being that the Illuminati will be Patrick Stewart's Xavier. Doctor Strange will eventually be in it. Iron Man, but not Downey. They're saying that it's going to be superior. Tom Cruise, superior Iron Man. I don't know how that's going to work.
Owen Gruford's Reed Richards or John Krasinski, either one. I mean, that's what we're hearing.
And this sounds. I mean, the rumors that Wolverine's going to be in it, but it's not going to be. It's not going to be Hugh Jackman. It's going to be a new Wolverine.
Oh God.
Which kind of pegs the question: Is this how we're bringing the Fantastic Four and X-Men into the MCU?
Yeah. I mean, it could be a great way to do that, but I would rather maybe pull on more nostalgia strings here and bring the old guys back for one last run, I guess.
Right, because it's just like, how do you bring the X-Men into the MCU at this point? Because, you know, they probably would have came into the MCU like in the first after the first Iron Man, but copyrights. You know, Fox had Marvel. And then they had Fantastic Four. So
Spider-Man
like,
Far From Home could have been a way to do it.
You could have.
No Way Home. Excuse me.
I mean,
a way to do it.
I mean, you need to bring him in as a way to make sense. You can't just like bring him in and say, "Hey, we're the X-Men. We're mutants. Well, where the fuck have you been this whole time? We've been here. How? You know, it's just like, I don't know. But I guess this is probably their next best way of bringing him in. Mm-hmm. Even if it's like, you know, well, we got to bring in people that we already know, like, you know, bring in recognizable faces. So I guess that makes sense.
And then start fresh with the new whoever they're gonna go with in the long haul. Start with that later.
And it's just like, well, we couldn't really think of anyone better to be Professor Xavier, so we're gonna bring back Patrick Stewart. So good, like fucking good. I love Patrick Stewart. We all love.
Not
Patrick
James
Stewart.
McAvoy. Get him out of here.
I thought he was good. I liked him.
It was fucking around with his character too much.
Well, the first two X-Men First Class movies are great. After that, it just got wonky. It got bad.
Way out of hand, because he can walk, and then he can't walk, and then he's got a serum now that makes grow his hair out, and he can walk. Like, what the fuck kind of bullshit is that? What is that?
It's like,
Seriously.
and then he forgets that Wolverine told him to go fuck himself, and then he says fuck off, and it's like, come on, dude. Like, we know what Wolverine told you. But it's going to be a fucking batshit movie. It's going to be great. It's going to be amazing. It looks like Wanda is the villain, which she makes a good point in the movie. It's like, you break the rules, you're a hero. I break the rules, I'm the enemy. That doesn't seem fair. It's just
not
like
Wanda, but a variant of Wanda is going to be the villain.
Like, you see it. Like, it looks like it's going to be the what if, you know, zombie Wanda, but it doesn't really look like it. It looks more like it looks more like Carrie Wanda.
Mm-hmm.
So that's gonna be fucking dope. I love me some Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's amazing. I think she's a great actress, and I love looking at her. Love her.
Drew Yari's a fanboy.
I'm a fanboy. I'm a simp for Elizabeth Olsen. I think she's an amazing actress. So yeah, that's Doctor Strange coming out in May. And then next week is going to be the Batman.
Yep.
Which we already got our tickets. Opening night.
Yeah, I know Morgan and Logan and a couple other people are going to see that, but I'm not taking any time off until March the 30th.
Oh,
around that point in time, because we're all going to go see Slipknot on the 30th. So
That's random.
yeah, it's gonna be dope.
I would love to see Slipknot in person.
Yeah, we're all gonna go crazy. Morgan's gonna wear her best zombie makeup, and I'm gonna go all rocked out in a goddamn Slipknot outfit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Give me some good Slipknot merch. You know what I'm saying? Got some fresh shoes.
I'm a big fan of Corey Taylor.
Yeah, Corey Taylor's a good dude.
But
rock and roller.
Anyways, let's call it a night, homie.
Yeah, it's a good night. Wait a minute, did you just call me homie? Like Booker T told what you call it? Did he just say dog?
Wait a minute. Did you just say his mama is a goof? You don't remember? You don't remember that story?
Yeah.
When Goldberg apparently called Chris Jericho's mama goof.
I think me and Goldberg would have been had to fight or something, man.
Oh god. But yeah, go ahead and plug your stuff, dude.
You can follow me on Twitter at LowRJ Unlimited, and so I got a new project that's I've been testing the waters with another good friend of mine, Logan Slater. Mm-hmm. We've been doing not to be confused with the aforementioned Logan that I mentioned earlier. I know too many fucking Logans, goddamn. But Logan Slater is a good dude. He's on Twitter. Follow him, Demon Scorpion 13. But he and I have been doing a couple of shows called the Scorso Lounge. A little playoff, the E-Fed stuff. But yeah, we've been doing a couple of shows. We did 2 up already, and we're looking to do a few. I just gotta get some stuff down pat for scheduling, and we're supposed to be trying to get some indie wrestlers because he's friendly with a lot of the newer, younger indie wrestlers that are out there. So he's already got one lined up already. We just gotta set a secure date so we can do a show, and hopefully that'll be good.
All right, and I kind of announcements. I have an announcement to make, but I'll probably wait until it actually happens. So I'll tell you off here. But yeah, you know where to find me. I'm not very hard to find. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Juriari Show, and the regular show you can always find on Spreaker. And it's available where podcasts are put out: YouTube, Google, yada yada yada. And then Patreon. Patreon just $5 a month. I do a show with Mr. RJ over here. Mm-hmm. I also do a show with Jeff Littman and Mr. Ruben Prime, which I need to talk to him after this. And it's just $5 a month. It's a pretty good deal. And yeah, that's about it. I will see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Might be a different channel. That's my announcement. But,
same time, same channel.
Sit tight. But anyways, guys, I appreciate you all for listening, downloading, liking, and subscribing. And go ahead and go to iTunes and leave a review for the show. Just go out of your way to do that.
Yeah, tell us that we suck.
Tell us that we suck and you want us to die. It's like, Jesus Christ.
Tell Joe Yari that you want him to fall off a building because he dissed Adam Cole.
I know. Tell RJ that you hate him and that you wish he would get his dick cut off because he says he doesn't like Orange Cassidy.
Oh, good Lord. Not my dick. I need that.
We're taking your dick.
Unlike some of you virgins out there, I actually use these. I use these things.
God damn it! I need my dick.
Like the rest of you guys, you use your thing out there to jerk off the Jonathan Gresham versus Daniel Garcia matches.
Jesus Christ.
Daniel Garcia, Johnny Gresham, what is this Buffalo FC?
Oh my goodness. Anyways, guys, take care. See y'all next week, and peace.
Peace.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari. It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.
It's Drew Yari.
The Drew Yari Show.